Welcome back to Watkins Glen. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series blossoms at big venues near large cities like LA, Chicago, Atlanta, and Detroit. But the true race fan needs to appreciate the history here at Watkins Glen. Fans come to see this winding road course knowing they can't see everything, but at the same time knowing this track has seen it all.
Known as Global Crossing at the Glen, our Grand Marshal, Brock Yates. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Races at Watkins Glen have been red flagged by snow and slowed by wildlife crossing the track. Today you can watch these guys run like a deer next on NBC. A field of 43 ready to race on the rolling road course at Watkins Glen, New York. It's a 90-lap rush hour of horsepower. And after watching this one, here are three guys you don't want to try and pass on the way to work in the morning. Alan Bestwick, Benny Parsons, and Wally Dallenbach.
It's never a good idea to try and pass BP anyway. Thank you, Bill, and good afternoon from Watkins Glen. The sun is out right now, but there is the possibility of racing in the rain. It was topic number one on the drivers' minds in the garage this morning. How about it, BP? What about racing in the rain?
Oh, you know, those road racing specialists, they're just licking their chops because unlike the NASCAR Winston Cup regulars who have no experience in the rain, these guys run it all the time. They would have a decided advantage.
You're right, BP. And the thing that they're going to have to learn how to do, the guys that aren't used to running the rain, is in the rain, everything is slow motion. You have to slow down, slow shifts, slow brakes, slow turns. So they got an education today.
All right, that's if it rains. If it's a dry race, do the invaders like Ron Fellows really have a chance to beat Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett?
Absolutely. I think Ron Fellows has got the talent. The team has the talent. They've got the equipment. The question is the pit crew. They've got to step it up. They're in Winston Cup now.
I think the question is, can Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon beat Ron Fellows?
I know one thing. It's going to be fun finding out. It's going to take 990 turns and 810 gear changes to finish the distance at Watkins Glen. Each one's a chance for trouble. Here's our starting grid. 43 drivers set to go. The Yates teammates, Jarrett and Ricky, share row one, where almost half of Watkins Glen race winners have started. Jerry Nadeau hasn't started this far forward in a race since early March. Robbie Gordon, he nearly won at Sears Point in June. Rusty Wallace has 6 road course wins to his credit, and Ron Fellows leads the Invaders. He finished second here in '99. Local native Todd Bodine, another strong qualifying run for him. Scott Pruitt's with him in his first start of the year. John Andretti in row 5 with only his second top 10 start of the season. He's already won once here this weekend in a sports car. Kevin Harvick's with him in row 5. Tony Stewart won at Sears Point in June. Ward Burton was running third here last year till a late problem. There's Jeff Gordon, the point leader, back in row number 7 with Bobby Labonte. Gordon's won 3 of the last 4 Glen races, and Mark Martin, he's always tough here at Watkins Glen. He's with Sterling Marlin in row 8. Ron Hornaday won a Truck Series race here in '96, and the '92 winner Kyle Petty are in row 9. Row number 10, it's Joe Nemechek and road racing ace Boris Said driving the car usually fielded for Robert Presley.
Let's try talking to Boris Said. Boris, Benny Parsons with NBC. You got me?
Yeah, I copy.
Well, you had some trouble in qualifying. You're back in 20th spot. Is the car better than that?
I think the car is better. I mean, unfortunately, we had a little transmission problem in qualifying where we couldn't get second gear, but these guys from Jasper Engines Transmissions give me a brand new one and degree deodorant, so I think we're looking good. I'm just going to try to be patient and hopefully follow that 24 car up to the front if I'm fast enough.
Boris, are you hoping that it rains? Boris, are you hoping that it rains? So look like we lost, Boris said.
I didn't catch that, Benny, if you were talking again.
I just said, are you hoping that it rains, Boris?
Oh, man, I love driving in the rain, but I'd rather have the race be all dry, just so I think it'll be more fun for everybody, especially all these fans out here. They don't want to be sitting around in the rain.
Well, good luck to you.
Boris Said starting in 20th, one of the road warriors, the Invaders in the field today. Steve Park, the defending champion, starting 37th. And here are the final starters in on provisionals for today's race. Those who failed to qualify, basically because provisionals left to fall back on. What's that name? Dallenbach.
You know how hard it is to drive with 2 people in the seat? It's not easy. I tell you.
Tried to qualify Buckshot Jones's car on Friday. Didn't work out. Let's take a look at the course facing the drivers today.
Start-finish line, downhill to turn 1, drop about 70 feet. Turn to the lowest part of the racetrack at 1,000 feet above sea level. As you go through 3, 4, and down the long front stretch to turn 5, you're climbing 110 feet. Through the carousel to turn 9, the backstretch straight. The only left-hander on the racetrack, turn 10, a real sharp right-hander back to the start-finish line.
While we have the time, let's get some final reports from pit road. Here's Marty Snyder.
Well, Alan, there's perhaps no driver in the field under more pressure today than Robbie Gordon. This will be his last ride in the 31 car. Mike Skinner, the regular driver, will be back at Michigan. Now, Robbie is a road course expert. He knows this is perhaps his best chance to win a Winston Cup race, and he does not have a full-time ride, but if he wins today, he knows that he will take a big step towards achieving that goal. To Matt Yoakum.
Marty, Tony Stewart is the most recent road course winner on the Winston Cup Tour, but I spoke with Tony as he was climbing into his race car. He was not very optimistic about today. He said he feels like he has a 6th or 7th or 8th place car, but not a car that can compete with the 88, 28, or 24. They have made a number of changes on this race car this morning, but much like Sonoma, they started the race not the best race car, but they were the best race car at the finish today.
Hey, Matt, the team car to Sterling Marlin's number 40 is the 01 driven by Scott Pruitt. That car tested up here and had a great test, so they applied that knowledge to the 40 car. It didn't work. They had a bad qualifying run, and they had to change everything on the car to make Sterling comfortable. He believes he is now, and after a season-best second-place finish last week at Indy, they're pumped to try to stay in this points race. They're currently 4th. Alan?
All right, Dave, thanks. Field coming down for the start now. 90 laps make up the distance today, 220.5 miles. That 90 laps a crucial number because it makes an even 2-stop race on pit strategy. Lap 30, lap 60, and the pit strategy here today will be key in determining who wins. We'll talk more about it as we get closer to the first pit stop. But we're set to go at Watkins Glen as the pace truck heads for turn 11, the final corner on the course. Dale Jarrett and Ricky Rudd opposite the normal positions on a racetrack because you're running the opposite of normal direction since you're on a road course. It is Jarrett to driver's right, Rudd to driver's left, and they're coming down for the green flag at Watkins Glen.
Mike Skinner's picked up 1 spot on the start.
That's Robbie Gordon, you big dummy.
Mike Skinner, Robbie Gordon, that's right.
He'll be back to Mike next week in Michigan.
Then I'll be correct. Just a week early.
Gordon in 3rd, Jerry Nadeau in 4th, Rusty Wallace 5th. The yellow-nosed car is Ron Fellows in 6th. Then you've got Todd Bodine, Stewart-Andretti, and Scott Pruitt. But it's Jarrett who got the lead from Gordon heading into the first corner.
Johnny Benson trying to pick up the spots and does on Michael Walter.
Here's Stewart-Andretti ducking inside of Todd Bodine. That's for 7th. Couldn't get it.
Stewart did outbreak Kevin, though, going down to turn 1 that time.
Kevin Harvick in the 29 car.
So that puts Stewart to 10th and Harvick back to 11th. And there's Jeff Gordon in 12th. Oh, cloud of dust there.
Tony Stewart off the racetrack.
Was it Stewart?
Yes.
Thought it might have been Harvick. Never question the driver's eye. I'm going to learn that lesson one of these weeks.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Tony Stewart.
Gordon with a peek at turn 10.
That was not a serious attempt to pass, but this is when he drives down to the inside and takes that spot away from Kevin Harvick.
Bounced off the curb, got nipped by Harvick. Gordon got the right side wheels on the curve on the inside of that corner. It got him sideways when Harvick was right on top of him. Here's lap 3. Backing up, he was 9th. He's all the way back to 15th in 1 lap.
Smart Martin looks back at Ward Burton. Kyle Petty on the inside. Pruitt there in the 0-1 car.
I thought I saw a little puff of smoke when he went to make a shift there, Benny, and we'll see if we can get a follow-up report from his kid if they've lost a cylinder or something, but he sure lost a lot of positions all at once.
I agree with you. I saw that same puff in the 0-1.
Bobby Labonte running in 18th. Matt, how about it?
Alan, I just spoke with Andy Graves, the team manager for Chip Ganassi Racing. He said the engine died, so Scott swapped to the backup ignition box. The engine refired, and that's all they've talked about on the radio since.
Okay, so we lost all 8 cylinders at once.
Yes.
And got them all back.
These cars do have a backup system, so they can switch to another ignition box, oil.
What you call a moment, though, when it happens in front of 30 cars.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of those road racing terms.
Yeah.
A moment. Pruitt on the Winston Cup Tour last year, driving for Cal Wells and the PPI team. Not renewed for that ride for the start of this year. This is his first race on the Winston Cup Tour in 2001.
Gravel trap that you see to your very right of the screen, that's off turn 1, and that gravel trap usually gets a lot of customers during a race.
Up front, Dale Jarrett extending his advantage on Ricky Rudd. That's a 1.3-second gap. You see Robbie Gordon in the 31 car in 3rd. There's Nadu, Rusty Wallace, Ron Fellows back through 6th position.
Tom Bodine, the 66 car, hanging in there pretty good.
On board Ron Fellows. What's that on the windshield of the camera lens?
That's some water. I don't know if it's rain or if that's coming out of Rusty Wallace's car. It's not rain, so some moisture coming from someplace, either Fellows' car, Rusty's car.
We'll check in Rusty's pit and see if there's any kind of a heating problem or something reported on his car that might be putting water out the overflow, but certainly seeing something hit the lens there on the camera on the 87 car.
And sometimes you would get fuel, but normally after a lap or two, the fuel from the overflow will come out of the car in front of you and get on the windshield, but it should be gone after about a lap or two.
Aerial views here at Watkins Glen, courtesy of the United States Army, an army of one. Just underway at Watkins Glen, Dale Jarrett is your leader. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Dale Jarrett is the leader at Watkins Glen. 7 laps into 90 that make up today's race. Welcome back. Log on to NBCSports.com for the latest NASCAR news and results. Plus, check out Benny Parsons' special interactive on the drivers who could emerge as NASCAR's next superstar. NBCSports.com. Rusty Wallace has lost a couple of positions as a challenge is on for 2nd spot.
And Robbie Gordon takes that away from Ricky Rudd. Robbie Gordon, the 31 car. But Robbie Gordon is driving for his career today.
This is his last ride behind the wheel of this car for Richard Childress Racing. He goes back to the sidelines next week when Mike Skinner, its regular driver, returns at Michigan. Robbie's auditioning. Now let's go back and watch Rusty Wallace try and defend a spot on John Andretti.
It looks to me, I don't know, it looks to me Rusty's having a brake problem because he's not getting into the corners like he wants to. Losing a lot of spots getting into the corners.
Rusty was 5th a minute ago. He lost 5th to Ron Fellows, 6th to Todd Bodine, and now 7th to John Andretti, and 8th to Jeff Gordon. Marty, what's going on with Rusty Wallace?
Well, and on the radio, Rusty has said nothing. I've asked Robin Pemberton twice now, is there anything wrong with the car? Both times he has said nothing. Lap times are not falling off. They're just losing spots on the racetrack. Maybe better drivers behind them, better cars right now, but the lap times really aren't falling off that much for Rusty Wallace.
And also, Marty reported to us earlier that Rusty's car was not the one that was leaking either. That was our initial inquiry as to whether what was popping up on Ron Fellows' camera lens was coming from the 2 car.
This is on board with Rusty Wallace on the roof of his car. We certainly see no moisture on this camera lens. Turn 1 is where Rusty seems to be really struggling. To see if Tony Stewart's able to take advantage.
Rusty's back in 9th now. Here comes Stewart.
See what I mean? I mean, Rusty is a hard person to pass on a road course, especially under braking. And the 3 or 4 guys in front of him made it look easy.
Wallace, one of the kings of NASCAR Winston Cup road course racing. He's got 6 victories on the left and right hand circuits.
And you can see that Tony Stewart, Rusty Wallace, over 12 seconds behind the leader, Dale Jarrett.
That's Kevin Harvick next behind Rusty, trying to close in.
Tony Stewart able to maintain pretty well the difference between himself and the 88 car.
So, Walter, let's assume you're Rusty Wallace at this point, and here's Jeff Gordon. Back to that in a minute. On John Andretti for 7th. And by. Gordon started 13th. He's up to 7th. Todd Bodine bidding inside of Ron Fellows.
Wow. That was really a gutsy move by Todd Bodine.
That's not really the place you want to do that. Here's the place you want to do it. If you're going to outbrake a guy, this is one of the best spots. And that was a classic outbraking maneuver on a road course. That was picture perfect.
Nice job, guys. Even if you get him there all day.
Bodine to 5th, Fellows back to 6th. Now he's got Gordon closing in on his bumper. Back to the thing about Rusty just for a second, just to finish that conversation. If you're Rusty and you're behind the wheel of that car, you're not reporting anything to your crew right now. You think you've got brake problems, what are you doing? You're losing ground early and you can't afford to.
Well, it depends what kind of brake problems you have. If you have a brake bias problem where you think you may have too much front brake or rear brake, he's in there adjusting that right now, trying to get the balance right so he can go down there and brake. And because if you got too much front brake, it's not going to want to turn or stop. If you got too much rear brake, it's want to get sideways getting into the corner. Now, if he's got a pedal problem, if the pedal is going down and he's got a pump, that's big. That's a bad deal because that probably means the brakes are getting hot. And there's no way to really fix that.
And he just lost 10th spot to Kevin Harvick. And while we were riding on board with him, it sure seemed like he was out of the gas early for that corner. Just underway at Watkins Glen, Dale Jarrett is the leader. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Back at Watkins Glen, you're looking at now the 43rd place runner, Rusty Wallace, who was just on pit road moments ago. Marty, what's going on?
Well, Alan, the car was overheating. A lot of panic down here in the middle of the light pits. They came in, pulled every piece of tape they had on the front grille off. The car again was overheating for Rusty Wallace. I believe he's going to come back in just a moment. Let's see if we can get a word with Robin Pemberton. Robin, What's wrong? What's wrong with the car? What's wrong with the car?
It's just hot. I don't know what's going on. The water temperature is pegged.
Water temperature is pegged. I think they are going to come back down pit road now, try and put some cool water in it for Rusty Wallace. They had high hopes. This is a brand new car. They were running very well in practice, but it looks like his chance to win is now gone.
The mystery now is solved of where the water was coming from on the lens of the camera on Ron Feller's car. It was, in fact, coming from the 2 car of Rusty Wallace.
So let's see if Rusty comes. Oh, look at the smoke.
Yeah, and I noticed that the last lap was a lot of smoke. I'm not sure he didn't do some damage to that motor running it that hot.
Does he come onto pit road? No. It goes on by. So maybe he's going to stay out and try and catch a caution since he's just in front of race leader Dale Jarrett.
There's a lot of smoke pouring out of those pipes right now.
It's Robbie Gordon, the second place car. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, Alan, already wild things happening here at Watkins Glen. Rusty Wallace, the first victim. It gets wilder the longer we go. Remember the finish at Sonoma earlier this year? Tony Stewart won the race. Gordon's finished second and third. That was Jeff in third. And Robbie Gordon finished second. Kevin Harvick finished 14th in that race, but he was a factor down the stretch. In fact, if you ask the Gordon that drives the 7 car, he might say at Sonoma, he was robbed. As we've already talked about, Robbie Gordon is a driver on a mission. He is a relief driver in this race, subbing for Mike Skinner, who returns next week. What do you think it would mean to Robbie Gordon to win here? Here's what he thinks it would mean.
I think it would mean a lot. It would mean a lot for Richard Childress. Obviously, it'll help my Winston Cup career, you know, being a race winner. It is a road course, though, so, you know, I think that's maybe expected a little bit, but, you know, you still have to get to victory lane. You have to have good pit stops. You have to have good strategy, and I can't make any mistakes on the racetrack.
Robbie Gordon currently second on the track. His best career finish is a second-place run. He wants to be number 1 at the Glen today. Let's go back to the action on the track.
You know, I'll tell you what. Robbie didn't get robbed.
Whoop, looks like
Joe went surfing there in the dirt. I don't think Robbie got robbed. I think Robbie lost that race for himself at Sears Point. He had the car, and I don't think he used his head. He should have let Harvick go earlier, and it would have been different. But I think here, he's learned from that mistake. He's very confident. I talked to him this morning. He wants this really bad. He's running the fastest car on the racetrack right now, so he's going to be tough today.
And Gordon running right now 1.8 seconds behind Dale Jarrett. You see Jarrett foreground and Gordon now background, and there's third place Ricky Rudd. Rusty Wallace has just taken his car to the garage. There's Rusty.
And Jarrett is spun down in the dirt. The leader is in the dirt pile in turn 1.
I don't know what I hit, but it locked it up.
And the caution flag is out because he's stuck. Cannot get out of there. Oh, my goodness.
And saw this yesterday. A lot of these guys are running into brake problems, and a lot of it was brake bias. He said I locked them up. Not sure if he locked the rears up or what, but there's a lot of cars that had a problem with that yesterday.
You see, and he can get, he's first gear, reverse, the car is not going anyplace. The only way out of this is with a wrecker.
And it probably will cost him a lap while they get the wrecker to him to pull him out.
So Robbie Gordon has one less bullet being shot at him today.
I don't know that anything. My brake pedal went all the way down. I don't know what happened there, guys.
Dale Jarrett
goes to the corner and said the brake pedal went all the way to the floor.
So the second place man on the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship is in the gravel trap.
I'm sorry. I hadn't had any
17. Let's take another look at what happened.
That's all I've been doing.
Let's go take a look at what happened to Dale Jarrett.
Now, see, him spinning like that means too much rear brake. You know, if you go down in there and you go in backwards, normally that means you have too much rear brake.
Tell you what, that car, when it caught that dirt, almost tipped over on its side. On board with Dale Jarrett. Listen.
He got wheel hop there, and that was too much rear brake. If you heard that, that's what wheel hop is. And when you do that, the only way you can get out of wheel hop, believe it or not, is you have to hit the gas. And it's hard to do when you're going barreling down into a corner and you get wheel hop and you're on the brakes and you're downshifting and you got to say, man, I got to hit the gas and get this thing freed up.
Tell him one more time what it sounded like. Oh, okay.
Now, problem for Dale Jarrett is right here, that critical front air valence on the car. When they try and pull it out of the gravel trap, it's going to bend that around.
He's going to be 2-3 laps down. He's got a lot of problems. Or will he get away with 1 lap?
I think he's going to get away with 1 lap right now.
So Robbie Gordon becomes the new leader.
They didn't do too much damage. They did a good job.
Tip the cap to the wrecker crew. But those gravel traps are one of the greatest safety innovations ever put out at this Watkins Glen course. If he hadn't hit that gravel trap, he'd have clobbered the guardrail at a very high rate of speed.
Now, the only problem he's got to worry about is that gravel is very fine gravel, and it gets everywhere. It gets in your rotors. It gets in your brake calipers. It gets everywhere. So hopefully nothing will get stuck inside the rotors of the car.
It'll have pumping up to the floor for some reason.
Did he say you had to pump the brakes to get a pedal?
And like I said, that's a problem I've been seeing and talking to these guys. The pedals are getting soft way earlier than we're used to during the race.
See, now he's not going very fast. He's feeling everything out to make sure that nothing was injured in this spin.
Right now, it's solid as it can be.
And that's what happens. If you don't use them, if you come in and just let them sit, they get very hard. But if you're constantly using them, and you use them a lot here, you got to pump it. And man, it is hard to run a road course when you got to pump your brake pedal every time before going into a corner.
DJ, how was your...
So now Dale Jarrett is a lap down.
To the right. Right there. Everything was good, John. I had no problems with anything till I went right there. Yeah, tip forward. Okay. The forward bite was good there on hot tires.
Now, he was running some incredible laps. As a matter of fact, the last lap that he ran was faster than he ran the first 2 or 3 laps. These cars were picking up speed. They started at averaging 118 miles per hour. That last lap he ran was like 119 before he went down in turn 1.
Coming to the stripe to complete lap number 19. Let's talk pit strategy. Do we see the leaders pit here?
I don't think so. They're going to make it on 2 stops. They're going to stop at lap 30, lap 60, and that's going to be it. Because if Robbie Gordon at 31 stops now and all these other cars stay on the racetrack, he's going to lose all that track position. They're going to wait until they have to stop. Now, the guys in the back, some of them may go in. Ron Fellows has a problem with his car. He's going to pit road to make some adjustments.
Fellows had fallen back to 9th place, Bill.
Allen, he had no choice. The car was way too loose to keep driving, so he's coming down pit road now. They'll make an air pressure adjustment and a chassis adjustment. These are the most precious seconds for Ron Fellows today. He has the talent, he has the equipment to win this race. The question is, does he have the pit crew? Several other cars on pit road. They've already changed lefts. Now they'll come around and change rights, reverse of a normal pit stop. To Dave Burns.
Jeff Burton is in, Bill. The car was a little bit tight, so they're going to add a half pound of air pressure to each rear tire to help him steer the car better. He's picked off a number of positions, and one by one here in the road course is the way to go as he swings the rear end around and heads down pit road. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
A little slow with the right rear tire for Ward Burton. He's down and away. He was complaining about his car being tight. They made an air pressure adjustment on the 22 car.
Well, Dale Jarrett is in, guys. As you can see, the car very dirty, but it looks like that's about it. No real damage on the front valence. Again, as Wally said, that was the concern. They pulled one piece of tape off the front grille. They're a little worried about the engine overheating now, but they're going to change 4 tires. They don't even make an adjustment. They check the rear brakes. As we talked about, maybe too much rear brake. They just went inside. Kevin Gilman, the rear tire changer, checked the rear brakes just to make sure they were okay, and they sent Dale Jarrett on his way.
How would they check the rear brakes to make sure they're okay? Do these cars have heat strips across the calipers, and they look to make sure that they're operating at a certain temperature?
Well, they do, and sometimes they put temperature paint on the rotor. So that's probably what they were looking at with it. Like you said, they were looking at the temperature, make sure they weren't getting too much bias. There was too much heat in the back or the front.
So Dale Jarrett is back now in 42nd position. 1 lap down. Talk about going from the top to the bottom in a hurry.
All right, they made some adjustments on the 87 car, the chassis on the car, trying to get him a little bit better. We have a camera in the right rear. Take it off there, we see they jerked the rubber out to make that spring a little bit softer. Now they put the right rear back on, car is gone. That was a left rear action. That's the right rear. I looked at the camera this morning. It was the right rear.
And I think
this is backwards.
It's a road course.
It's a road course.
Ron is probably, I'm guessing, but knowing that these are road course guys, he's probably got one of the stiffest setups out here. The guys that have run Trans Am and different road race cars, they like a car that doesn't roll. They like a stiff car. So he's probably fairly stiff in the back of that car.
Another difference in running on a road course versus a normal track. The field is getting the one-to-go signal at this point on the speedway. That's about a half a lap from the start-finish line out in what they call the inner loop. So when they come to the stripe this time, they get the green flag in the restart. It's such a long, slow caution flag lap here. It's like 4 minutes for a caution flag lap at Watkins Glen. So they give them the one to go with actually a half a lap to go before the restart.
And Dale Jarrett's looking at all those cars.
All those cars plus a lap. Here's our NASCAR Busch Series update. No race for the division this weekend. They go back at it in Michigan next Saturday. You'll see it on TNT. Kevin Harvick with a point lead over Greg Biffle of 163. Truck Series raced earlier this weekend in Nashville, Tennessee. Scott Riggs picked up the win and closed in on Joe Ruttman for their series championship. That's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series update. Jack Sprague was the point leader going into that one. His car stalled before the green flag, and they spent time behind the wall before the race even started. Coming to the green flag, Robbie Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Jerry Nadeau, Todd Bodine, and Jeff Gordon are now the top five.
Green. Clear on the right.
Jeff Gordon inside of Todd Bodine for fourth. John Andretti defending against Tony Stewart, who's up to his outside trying to take a spot.
And Jeff Gordon, who started 13th, has worked his way up to the 4th position. On board the 29 car, Kevin Harvick, as he follows Tony Stewart through the interloop. Chicane, whatever you may want to call it.
Rusty Wallace's car has just been officially retired from the race. We're hoping to get a word with him. That's going to hurt. Rusty was 6th in the championship coming in. Now let's mention that under the caution flag, 20 cars stayed out. The others all pitted. So the first 20 in line are on the original tires they started the race on, and they'll all be coming to pit road under the green pretty soon.
You see the leader, Robbie Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Jerry Nadeau as we put in our Williams race chase. Ricky Rudd just a little bit less than a second behind. You see, going into the inner loop, he lost about a 1/10 of a second. And going through the inner loop, he still is losing some speed. He lost about a little more than a 1/3 of a second through that portion of the racetrack. But now, as you get on the backstretch and start going through the gears, we can see that Ricky Rudd starts gaining just a little bit on Robbie Gordon.
Here's Tony Stewart inside of John Andretti, 6th place. Oh, contact.
Oh, and it tore the right front fender off John Andretti's car. I tell you what, these guys with Petty Enterprises cannot catch any kind of break.
Same spot on the racetrack. Stewart and Jeff Gordon got together last year. Except that was on lap 1.
It doesn't look like the fender's rubbing anything anything. I just don't know if NASCAR will allow him to stay on the track with that fender protruding like that. I guess we'll find out the next time by.
This is Mark Martin in ninth, looking ahead. Rusty Wallace is out of the race. Bill Weber's caught up with him.
Well, I know you're disappointed. You had a new car and high hopes. What happened?
I had really high hopes. I had a car that was running great, and all of a sudden it started getting hot, and I pitted it, went back out, and couldn't get it fixed, and came in and opened the hood, and we accidentally left the water line loose from the radiator to the water pump, and it burned itself up. That was the problem.
Rusty, that's extremely tough to take.
That's extremely tough to take because our guys are some of the best. They do really good checks on engines, but we put the motor in cold turkey this morning like we've done all year long, and it got us today, and you know what? It got us at Loudon, New Hampshire, too, so we got to rethink that process now.
Okay, hitting the points.
Yeah, the points are, it's really tough because now you think about it, there's four 43rd place finishes between Atlanta and where was it, Las Vegas, and now Loudon here. Man, I tell you, that's tough. But the car's running strong. It's real strong. It's just having these stupid problems, but today it was our stupid problem.
Thanks for coming out. We'll see you at Michigan.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Rusty Wallace, as he said, 43rd at Loudon. Marty?
Well, in the meantime, Dale Jarrett has fallen all the way back to 41st position. Todd Parrott is his crew chief, and you got to look at the car. How bad's the damage?
Just had a lot of those little rocks that saved them things from getting in the barrels in the wall down there. Just got in there, and I said he pumped the brake a little bit and went down, and just one of them deals. It's happened all weekend long to a lot of people, and we got a long way to go now. We got a great race car. We just have to try to figure some pit strategy here and see if we can get back up front.
And again, the damage is very minor for Dale Jarrett, but he is in 41st position, while the points leader, Jeff Gordon, is running well. To Matt Yoakum.
And the famous 43 is making his way down pit road. They were told to come down pit road by NASCAR because of the fender hanging off like it is. The right front sheet metal damage. A tough break for John Andretti, who started ninth, had a lot of high hopes today. He won a Grand Am race in the GT3 class here Friday night with his teammate Kyle Petty. And they were running well today. You can see it pulled apart right above where the seam is on the fender. They changed that right front tire. They're going to have to peel apart that sheet metal. Now they have the Sawzall out. They're going to cut away some of that front fascia and the fender. And here is what happened to John Andretti as he leaves pit road.
Let's take a look at it. This is turn one.
Tony Stewart, the 20 car going by, and right there they're going to just touch, and the rear bumper on the 20 car catches the front fender on the 43, almost jerked the front nose off.
Yeah, the 20 car thought he was clear, went over in front of the 43 and he wasn't clear.
And Kevin Harvick able to get by both those cars.
Nice job of taking advantage of opportunity by Harvick there. So Kevin's in 6th, Stewart's back in 7th, and Andretti's going to be a lap down. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Robbie Gordon leads at Watkins Glen as Subway presents NASCAR Winston Cup Series racing on NBC. You see the interval between Robbie Gordon and Ricky Rudd, the second-place car.
Using our Williams race, Jake, you see that Robbie Gordon has pulled out almost another second on Ricky Rudd from when we saw this just a moment ago.
You see John Andretti just in front of the leader. Andretti did get out on the tail end of the lead lap. I erred a minute ago. He just barely got out in front of Gordon. But John is back in 40th position. Log on to NASCAR.com to play the AutoTrader.com Move of the Race sweepstakes for your chance to win a $25,000 shopping spree on AutoTrader.com and other great prizes. We're coming up on green flag pit stops for some of the leaders, so let's take a break here and come back to cover that. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen. The first pit stops of the day. Leader Robbie Gordon is in, as well as the man right behind him, Jerry Nadeau. Robbie Gordon will take on 4 tires. No adjustments. The pit stops are a little bit earlier than we thought they would be. That's because of all the laps under caution and the 3 pace laps before the race. For Jerry Nadeau, they added 1 pound to both tires in the rear. They hope that loosens them up off. To Matt Yoakum.
And Jeff Gordon is already down and away. The 6-time road course winner entered pit road in 4th. A slight air pressure adjustment. He was tight in and loose off.
And he gained a lot of ground on Robbie Gordon, who had a lug nut pop off that left rear tire. They had to stop and pick it up.
I'm surprised that no one had a really good pit stop. Robbie Gordon had about an 18-second pit stop. Jeff Gordon, the only guy that made up any time on him.
Don't forget, they're coming in different. This is a different way they're pitting, so it's kind of, they're not used to this. They don't do it this way every week.
It's backwards.
It's backwards to them. As a matter of fact, the 99 car, they changed the front and rear tire changer. The rear becomes the front becomes the rear.
Now you see the interval that Ricky Rudd, who's now the leader, has over Robbie Gordon and Jeff Gordon. 45 seconds difference between them, and now here's Ricky Rudd on pit road for a stop. Ron Fellows will take over the race lead as Ricky Rudd comes in. Bill?
Bobby Labonte getting 4 tires and air pressure adjustment to try and handle a tight condition, although loose off of some of the turns. He's away to Marty.
Ricky Rudd also in, Bill, and it's a 4-tire stop for Rudd, the leader. No changes on this stop so far. A very quick stop for Ricky Rudd and his Haviland team.
All right, let's see how Ricky Rudd does versus Jeff Gordon and Robbie Gordon. Who's going to get the lead? Is it going to be Ricky Rudd? Yes, it is.
But Robbie's got a lot of momentum going up through the S's here, so they're going to be all over each other.
On an oval track, we'd be worried about Rudd with low pressures, having to be careful the first lap. Is that a factor right now?
I think so. Robbie should be able to outbrake him. That's what he's doing right here.
So the loser on the exchange of stops for the moment is Jerry Nadeau, who was third. His teammate Jeff Gordon has taken that from him pending the completion of the stops, the cycle. Ron Fellows has been on and off pit road.
Oh, the car goes straight down in turn 1. Lost some brakes. Joe Nemechek, he drove it through. It looks like he drove it through the gravel so he wouldn't get caught. He's down on solid ground, and
that's the second time he's been down there today. So he must be having some problems with the brakes.
Nice job getting through the gravel trap, though. Attaboy, Joe.
He's got some damage there, right there in the middle of the valence, though, when he went through there and did that. And he had to stand on the gas ring. He would have got caught. But right there, he's got some damage.
Let's take a look at what happened to Joe Nemechek in turn 1.
Man, that's a snowplow going through that gravel. But somehow he got it stopped. On board, let's listen.
He wheel hopped it.
What did he do? There you go.
But instead of, what Joe did there, he got back on the gas. At least kept him going straight.
Did he, as he started off into that corner when he felt it hop, just keep the wheel straight instead of trying to turn in to stay on the pavement?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's the difference. If you still try to turn while you're wheel hopping, you are going to go backwards.
And you're going to get into the gravel trap sideways, and you're going to get stuck. Whereas he kept it straight and was able to accelerate through the gravel trap and not get hung up. That's a pretty cool move.
'87 car, Ron Fellows, is now the leader of the race. Jeff Gordon is in second spot. Jeff Burton, the 99 car.
Yeah, I thought I saw Ron Fellows on pit road under the green a minute ago. I had mistaken him for another car, so he's not stopped yet.
He stopped on that first caution flag, so
right, but
he can run for quite a ways now.
But I said he was in under the green a minute ago, and I was wrong. Dave, how about Jeff Burton?
Yeah, you're right, Alan. He did stop on lap 19, and they were just a little bit tight, so they put a half round of air in each rear tire, and that will free the car up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to turn through the corners. That's what Jeff needed.
Now, where we're at is we're on a split pit schedule. These cars you're looking at stopped under the caution at lap 19. The ones who stopped under the green, like Robbie Gordon and Ricky Rudd, they're back in 19th and 20th right now.
And we talked about Robbie Gordon take the lead from Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd taking lead on the pit stop. Obviously, they were back for 19th and 20th position. When these cars stop, theoretically, they will be back in the lead.
And if a caution comes out here in a minute, it could change the whole thing. Strategy. It's big in these road course races, and it's big right now at Watkins Glen. Ron Fellows is the leader. Just over a third into today's race at Watkins Glen. New leader, Jeff Burton in the 99 has gone by Ron Fellows in the 87. So Burton becomes the fourth different driver to lead the race today, and let's go back and take a look at how he got it.
Coming off the carousel down to turn 10, the left-hander. He gets position on Ron Fellows. There's nothing Fellows can do except back off, except the fact that Jeff Burton is going to be in front of him when they come off that corner.
Now this is turn 1, just moments after that.
Tony Stewart stopped and Boris said did not.
Boris said, sorry.
And Boris said, I'm sorry, is correct.
And goodbye.
Yeah. Excuse me, coming through.
Hey, smooth, don't forget about your rev limiter.
Something broke there, an axle or something.
Don't forget about your rev limiter. 87 just broke something. We're in good shape now.
That's Frank Stoddard, crew chief, talking to Jeff Burton and Ron Fellows.
He came off that corner, got sideways where he shouldn't have been. It's almost like he broke an axle or something in the driveline, maybe.
Now he can turn right here and go back right there and go back up behind the pits.
Flat right.
Clear me, please, clear me.
He wants to back up that road, I think. He's telling the spotter to clear him.
Now you see the caution waving in that section of the track, but that's just that corner of the track that's under the caution.
Well, he's moving, so it may not be the driveline.
Got a report that the right front tire may be down on that car.
Boy, it's sure ill handling. I know that. It stalled. See the red light on? And battle between Ricky Rudd and Jeff Gordon.
16th place. Gordon is through. It's Jerry Nadeau behind Ricky Rudd trying to keep up. Caution is coming out. Ron Fellows' car stopped on the racetrack in the S's and needs to be removed. Second caution of the race. There's Fellows' car. And the report from pit road is a broken axle. There you go, Walt.
I was right the first time.
Atta boy.
What you want to do?
Bill Weber?
88, way back there.
Well, they're talking it over on the radio. Ron just radioed in broken axle as we reported, and they're going to work to see if they can get him back here. But just very disappointing, just sitting there. Obviously, he's only here to win. He's not running for points, and that's why, he came here. He wanted to beat the best. Not going to happen today. Very disappointed.
Now Dale Jarrett trying to catch Jeff Burton to see if he can get back on the lead lap. Let's follow this one around the start-finish line.
Oh, Burton's going to let him do it.
Waved at him as he came by. See Burton waving at him?
Tell you what, that was a very nice move on Jeff. I don't know if I could have done that.
You know, this is just so much different than it used to be 20, 25 years ago. When you got a guy lap down, you'd almost...
Thank you.
DJ said, thank you.
But favor given that will be expected to be repaid farther down the season, especially as Jarrett stays in the championship hunt. Closing in on halfway at Watkins Glen, you're watching NASCAR on NBC. Pit stop time at Watkins Glen. Who comes in?
Jeff Burton stays out. That all-important track position.
Donnie Benson is in. Got Ricky Craven, Terry Labonte. Most of the lead lap cars are choosing to stay out. I'll bet we see Dale Jarrett in.
Well, he's the last.
But he's on the lead lap.
He's on the lead lap, so he might as well.
He's so far back, he's not even inside of pit road yet. But I'll bet you he's feeling a whole lot better than he was about 5 minutes ago.
Has to slow down, but that white line adhered to the speed limit on pit road.
That is slow.
35 miles an hour. A race driver would think it's slow.
That's hard to go that slow.
Let's go to Marty Snyder.
Well, Alan, as you talked about, thanks to the fortuitous caution and the gift from Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett feels a lot better now. They are back in contention. They're 38th, but they have a very good car. Todd Parrott came on the radio, asked DJ how the chassis was. He said, very good. Do not make any changes, please. 4 tires and fuel is all we need. The car is still very good. Remember, he was on the pole and was leading early. To Matt Yoakum.
The 20 car, Tony Stewart, had to back up. He was blocked in by the 43. They made a track bar adjustment and adjusted the air pressure in the left rear. The car would not cut, turning left or right in the corners.
Jeff Burton stays on track and maintains the lead here at Watkins Glen. We'll come back for the restart in a minute. Coming to the restart, new top 10. Jeff Burton, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin LePage, Johnny Benson, and Bill Elliott. Then Michael Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Jeremy Mayfield, Steve Park, and Bobby Hamilton. And actually take Benson out of that because he pitted.
Get ready. Green flag.
When he handled himself in that situation with Kevin Harvick at the end of the race. We're back over the race.
It's Bill Elliott, the 9 car, on the inside of Kevin LePage for 3rd. Can't make the pass.
Burton, Earnhardt Jr., LePage, Elliott, Waltrip.
No pressure, man. No pressure.
Then Mayfield, Park, Hamilton, Sadler, and Nemechek are the top 10. And we got 3 different pit stop schedules going now that's really going to jumble the running order of this one up.
These guys stopped on lap 19. Robbie Gordon, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd stopped on 29. And during this last caution flag on 39, several other guys stopped. But I think the guy that stopped on 29 has the upper hand.
They're in the best shape. Okay.
Ooh, Junior all over the back of the 99 car.
Jr.'s second Winston Cup race at Watkins Glen. He broke a transmission 2/3 of the way through the race and fell out last year, though the year before he won the NASCAR Cup Series race here. That was in June of '99.
Watch Dale Jr.
Nice food. Take care of everything. Nobody's coming.
Up the hill, 135 miles per hour, 136. And we'll see how much he gets up to at the end of this straightaway. Speed is building. Shift, start shifting. Looks like he's really losing some ground to Jeff Burton in the inner loop.
Bouncing over the curbs like that.
Down the back, we'll see what kind of maximum miles per hour he will turn. 157 miles per hour when he makes that left-hander.
Ron Fellows, we thought would be a factor for the win in this one. Bill Weber, not now.
Ron, I had a feeling I would talk to you today. I just didn't think the race would still be going on. What happened?
Yeah, that makes 2 of us, Bill. Looks like broke either a rear end or an axle. This is obviously a huge disappointment for everybody with Nemco here in Bully Hill. This is kind of our Daytona 500 we talked about before. Well, I don't know how many more of these Winston Cup disappointments I can take. This is, it's tough when you're just doing a couple of years.
You thought this was your best shot ever, didn't you?
Well, it certainly, I think it was. You know, Brian and all the guys worked very, very hard. New car. It's we just weren't right from the start, and I think I have an idea what the problem was, but just wasn't. Again, I think this axle was a diff. Anyway, it's we'll be back.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
He is extremely disappointed. There's no way you can put that into words, guys.
Ron Fellows is out. Rusty Wallace's car overheated, cooked the engine just 14 laps in. He's out. Kyle Petty has been on pit road for a long time with the hood up on his car. problem there. I believe it was a carburetor problem that was reported up to us. And Ward Burton is also on pit road. The hood up on his car. They were reported to be losing a cylinder on the Caterpillar Dodge. This is second place Dale Earnhardt Jr. chasing Jeff Burton. Behind them, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Gordon, and Ricky Rudd have moved up to 9th, 10th, and 11th. And Dale Jarrett has climbed up to 28th and is moving forward quickly. We'll keep an eye on his progress for you as well. Remember, Jeff Burton led him on the lead lap when that last caution waved.
Kevin LePage and that 4 car's hanging there pretty good.
Distance between the top 2 in the championship. Jeff Gordon in 10th place, Dale Jarrett now in 27th. It's 11 seconds between them. And Dale Jr. pressing Jeff Burton hard for the lead.
We see that the difference between Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett stand about the same.
Be halfway through next time they come back around to the start-finish line. No rain so far. That was one of the things we were keeping an eye on at the start of the day, and scanning the horizon doesn't look like it's close either. I think the rain tires are going to stay put away for another year. I should knock on wood as I'm saying that, but it looks like we're going to be okay.
Next time by, Jeff Burton will get the signal halfway. Talking about Ward Burton and a cylinder gone. He just went down the front straightaway underneath their position, and he definitely has some engine problems in that cat car. Robbie Gordon trying to get by Nemechek. That's the 8th position.
And Jeff Gordon hanging right with him stride for stride. Rudd also right there. Kevin Harvick looks to be in good position once the pit stop schedules shake out. And Todd Bodine. And for the lead, Dale Jr.
Here comes Jeff Burton back. And he retakes the lead in turn 2. Junior said, doggone it.
Just keep them cool, and then we'll get it back.
So, in effect, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has never led this race.
That's true.
Didn't come back around to the start-finish line out front.
But we know better. We saw it.
But when you open the newspaper in the morning, it won't show in the box score, BP.
Well, that's true.
I'll bet you had a lot of races you almost won, too.
Too many.
Yeah. How about this stat? Leading it halfway doesn't count for much. Jeff Burton, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin LePage, Bill Elliott, and Michael Waltrip are your top 5 at Watkins Glen. Just past halfway, Subway presents NASCAR Winston Cup Racing from Watkins Glen. Jeff Burton is the leader, trying to hold off a very determined Dale Earnhardt Jr.
All these guys stopped on lap 19 talking about Jeff Burton, Dale Earnhardt Jr. They must be able to plan on running about 35, 38 laps before they stop again and making it on one more stop.
Here's our Napa Field summary. A couple of cautions, one for Dale Jarrett getting hung up in the gravel trap, but the key point where that is concerned, Jeff Burton let Dale Jarrett get his lap back coming to the second caution. Now Jarrett's trying to work his way back up through the field. He's in 23rd place now. And he is 17 seconds behind the lead car. So, recalculating our math, BP, on the pit strategy, Burton may not be in as bad a shape as we thought.
No, all these other cars, I think Jeff Burton's okay because everyone has to stop one more time. And I think that Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. can make it on one more stop. They only got to run about 35 laps, and I think they can run that far.
Let's get some stories from pit road. Here's Dave Burns.
And Alan, Jeff Burton will need to come in on or about lap 55. Right now, he's just a little bit tight in the right-hand turns. Frankie Stoddard just radioed to his driver and said that we'll put a little bit of air in the left rear. That should loosen him up a little bit going around the left-hand turns. Let's go to Bill.
Well, out on the racetrack, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got around the 99, and then Jeff Burton said, "Look out, bud," and went right back by him. Now, earlier in the race, I asked Tony Eury Jr. how the 8 car was running. He said crummy. But right now, it's a lot less crummy. His car is very good, picking up speed, picking up confidence. Should be picking up fuel and tires around lap 55 or so, man.
Jeff Gordon and Robbie Loomis are looking at this race like 3 30-lap features. Their first stop was on lap 29. They expect to have their final pit stop at lap 60. Currently, Gordon says his 24 car is still tight in the middle of the corner. They're talking about what adjustments to make to his car on his final stop. Now to Marty Snyder.
Matt, Robbie Gordon can do Jeff Gordon just a little bit better. At lap 57, he can come in and stop for fuel to go the rest of the way. The car is very good right now on the track. Jeff Gordon just passed Robbie Gordon. Robbie said he's just messing with a 24. He wanted to see how good he was and where he was good so he could learn if he had to pass him later, where he could potentially pass him. Now, when they come down pit road, that could be a problem for Robbie Gordon. He says his first gear is too high on pit road. He's going to need a push. It's not good on restarts. File that one away for later, and it's not good on pit road. But his first gear really helps him out on the racetrack.
File that one away. How about that move by Robbie Gordon?
How about that? Robbie Gordon by Nemechek and Jeff Gordon.
Jeff had overtaken Robbie a couple of laps back in traffic.
Clear. And I think that maybe the reason that may have happened is because Robbie uses first gear down in turn 1, and I always the same deal. You can use second gear the way the gearboxes are in these cars. A lot of guys just use second gear. Jeff Gordon's one of them. He normally runs second gear through turn 1, but when you're in traffic, if you've got that first gear you can use, you can squirt by a guy like that, and that's what Robbie just did.
Kevin LePage getting shuffled back. He was in third just a lap ago. Man, they're all going by. He's going to be about 10th or 11th by the time he gets back to the start-finish line. Pit stop about 5 laps away for the leader at Watkins Glen. Monday night on NBC, Weakest Link and Third Watch moved to their new times. Now you can see Weakest Link every Monday at 8/7 Central, followed by Third Watch at 9/8 Central. Weakest Link and Third Watch, Monday nights at 8/7 Central on NBC.
The one car, Steve Park, the Pennzoil car, the winner of this race last year, making a pit stop, 4-tire change. By him stopping now tells me he can make it the rest of the way. At least he's going to try to. He hopes right now. He goes on the racetrack and the caution flag would come out.
.37 laps to go for Steve Park. That's a long way on fuel here.
Some of the guys down there were telling me that they couldn't make it that far. I got to believe that Steve Park is one of them.
Expect about another 2 laps before Jeff Burton, the leader, comes down pit road. He and Dale Earnhardt Jr. should stop at the same time.
I'm still thinking I'm going to put a half a pound in the left rear. Anything else?
Jeff Burton sounded like he was a little busy in there. No. A very abrupt no.
Looking back through the top 10, the 9th place car, as Boris said, in the 77. One of our road warriors invading for the day. Let's take a ride with Boris.
Boris is one of these guys we call a heel and toer. He's not a left foot breaker. You know, see his right foot? When he goes to downshift, he'll put his toe on the pedal and then he'll roll his heel over on the throttle as he's downshifted. He'll also use a clutch when he downshifts. That's a safety pump right there for the brakes. Not a lot of guys here do that. Most of the guys in Winston Cup are left foot breakers, and they don't use a clutch when they downshift or upshift. He didn't use it on the upshift, but he does use a clutch when he's downshifting, which you have to do when you heel and toe. And there's that security pump.
Yeah,
make sure that pedal's up there.
Just to make sure that that brake is going to be there when he needs it, about 150 miles an hour when he turns left.
You know, there are some people that think you use the clutch in these cars every time you shift gears. Second place car is in, Bill.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. stopping now a little earlier than expected, but their fuel mileage has been very good lately. A lot of brake dust. This is 4 tires and fuel. No expected chassis adjustment. This is the last time this team expects to see Earnhardt Jr. today. Had trouble getting the right front off. That's costing them valuable seconds. A quick right through. He's on his way. They lost some time here on that stop.
36 laps on the tank of fuel is what Earnhardt Jr. is looking to get. Jeremy Mayfield, Kevin LePage on pit road.
Other cars, all these cars stopping now, they're planning on this being their last stop. They can make it the rest of the way on fuel.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has really been on a tear. As of late, he's moved from 11th to 7th in points over the last 5 races. See over the course of the season, he's really, after a slow start, gained some momentum.
Now Jeff Burton, the leader, is on pit road.
Jeff, I want you to concentrate about coming hard to the sign for me. We stopped short last time. I want the front end hard on the sign for me.
Dave Burns will cover the leader's stop.
Alan, 20 laps ago, under pressure from Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Burton was told be smooth. But just about 10 laps ago, Frankie started saying, give me some hard laps here to pull your lead out. He's done that, and now they're going to replace those left side tires, which has an adjustment in the left rear, a little bit of air pressure increase to help Jeff turn the car in the corners. Crew goes around to the right side. They're talking about getting the fuel full. They have it. You can see it splash out, and he avoids Bill Elliott's guys and goes on out of the pit side. Here's the 9 car of Bill Elliott. They do make their stop. A little bit of trouble getting the right rear on, and now Elliott is gone. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
And Tony Stewart dives behind Bill Elliott into his pit stall. They are going to make a track bar adjustment. You can see Brian Larson with the wedge wrench making the track bar adjustment. He's the catch cam man as they come around to the right side of the car. 4 tires stop. Tony said the car was still tight in the center of the corner. He's down and away.
Robbie Gordon is now the leader. And it shouldn't be long before he pits. And the 31 team has just asked the NASCAR inspector in their pit to tell NASCAR that there's oil all the way around the racetrack. Conveniently, while they're leading and could use a caution, maybe?
Ricky Rudd on the racetrack.
Come on down here.
Marty?
Ricky Rudd comes in running 6, Benny. This is a little bit earlier than they wanted to come in. They were planning on coming in around lap 58. This is lap 55 or 56 now. They think they can make it all the way. They're fairly certain they can make it all the way, or they wouldn't have come in. 4 tires and no adjustment for Ricky Rudd. Today Burns.
Boris Set is in. They've already been around to the left side. They will now go to the right side, change tires for him. The crew very experienced, fairly new with Boris, and he is gone. Marty.
Right back in, and 4 tires and away. No adjustments again for Ricky Rudd. A little bit longer on the stop than they would have liked.
Kevin Harvick leaving pit road behind them. Johnny Benson has also been in. Now the question is, when will Robbie Gordon and when will Jeff Gordon make their pit stops? Robbie Gordon is in. Leader comes to the opening of pit road as we see Ricky Rudd get back up to speed down the back stretch. 35 miles an hour, the pit road speed limit today. And Jeff Gordon goes into the lead.
Copy that. Come on, way on down here, way on.
Marty?
Clutch is working now. Clutch is okay now. The clutch is okay. Don't get ready to
And Alan, remember we told you about the first gear that Robbie Gordon has in the car. The clutch, he says, is okay, but he's going to need a push when he leaves because they have a very high first gear in. They lost some time on the last pit stops. Let's go to Bill Weber.
It's 4 tires and fuel for Bobby Labonte. Fuel going in. He's on his way down pit road. Marty?
This time a much better pit stop going for Robbie Gordon. They put the right side tires on now. A little late on the right front. And once again, they push him away. A little bit longer stop once again for Robbie Gordon.
Dale Jarrett, Jerry Nadeau getting service, and let's see where Robbie Gordon comes out in relation to the cars he was racing with before.
Coming off of 1 now.
Jeff Burton was by, Dale Jr. was by. But he's out ahead of Rudd.
They talked about the high first gear, which tells me that's because Robbie is using first gear in turn 1. That's why you run it.
It's a real struggle, as I said, to get out of the pits. Here comes Jeff Gordon down pit road. Matt Yoakum.
And this will be the final scheduled stop for the 24 car, Jeff Gordon. He says his car is still tight in the middle of the corner, but loose up off. They're going to adjust with air pressure. I don't think they're going to make a chassis adjustment as Gordon comes to a stop. Now, some teams do rotate the changers and the tire carriers as they do pit reversed here. Unlike most racetracks, the right side of the car is closest to the wall as the crew does come around to the right side. Todd Gett, normally the front changer, is doing the rears. Steve Letarte, and he's down and away.
Here comes Jeff Burton to his left on the racetrack behind Jimmy Spencer. Let's see how they come out. Burton's going to be through.
He's going to be the leader after all these pit stops are made. Looks like Jeff Gordon is going to come out in front of Robbie Gordon.
Marty? Well, there's a fire inside the car of Robbie Gordon's. He just radioed to the crew and said, there's a fire, there's a fire. He came down pit road. The crew had no idea what was happening. As you hear Robbie on the radio trying to tell him what's going on, all they said was, I'm on fire, and the crew didn't know what was going on. He came down pit road. They saw the fire inside the car, trying to put it out. And Robbie Gordon is out of the car now, sitting on the pit wall. See if we can talk to him. Robbie, what happened inside the car?
I don't know, I left the pits and caught on fire. I don't get it. Left pit lane just caught on fire.
Any indication, is it any problems before that?
No, none at all. Big disappointment. Big disappointment.
As he said, a big disappointment. And that's an understatement. This team had high hopes. They really thought they had this race won, but obviously sitting in the pits, don't know what happened, but the car caught on fire inside of the Lowe's Chevrolet.
Man, oh man.
Now that's tough because Robbie was one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, and he was in a good position to win this race.
I mean, it really looked like it was going to be the Gordon boys battling out for the win, but here's Ricky Rudd trying to get by Jeff Gordon now.
This is right now in 15th and 16th positions. Todd Bodine is the leader. Brett Bodine is second. Then you've got Scott Pruitt, Ken Schrader, and Brian Simo. Followed by Ricky Craven, Terry Labonte, Dave Blaney, John Andretti, and Stacy Compton. Those drivers have not yet made their final pit stops. 31 laps to go. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. A wild topsy-turvy race here at Watkins Glen because of teams being on different pit stop schedules has really scattered the field. You're looking at the leader, Ricky Craven. He is out in front now because he has not yet made his final stop for fuel. Stacy Compton is second, Matt Kenseth is third, Dave Blaney is fourth. And then you'll get back to Jeff Burton when the cycle of pit stops completes. Scott Pruitt was the leader until seconds ago when he pulled down pit road to make his final stop.
And all these cars have to pit once again, except the 4 car. We saw him back there, the Kodak car, Kevin LePage. He has had some problems. He's 3 laps down now.
Let's mention that Ward Burton's car has gone to the garage and it has been retired from the race. Engine problems. And our pit stop summary from the last visit to pit road. Now that the out numbers are deceiving because we've got 5 cars yet who have not stopped. In essence, Jeff Burton's going to come back to the lead once this all cycles around.
I'm told that Ward Burton's car could not get up to the minimum speed, and NASCAR told him that he had to park the CAD car.
Yeah, remember they dropped at least a cylinder earlier. So for now, Ricky Craven moves to the head of the stack. One of, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 different drivers to lead this race. Dale Jarrett was out in front earlier in the race, spun while leading into the gravel trap, lost a lap. That was the race's first caution. The second caution came out at lap 39 when Ron Fellows broke and stopped on course, and Jeff Burton let Dale Jarrett have his lap back. That was a turning point in the race.
Here's a battle right now for the 5th position. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has it. Jeff Gordon would like to have it. Ricky Rudd back there watching all this. He's in 7th position. These guys are about 16, 17 seconds behind the leader. But the big thing, they're about 5 seconds behind Jeff Burton, a car who theoretically, and I don't think, has to stop again. We would ask Frank if he has to stop again, but he probably would lie to us, so.
There's the interval back from the leader, Ricky Craven, to these cars.
See the distance, staying consistent. Now we see if Earnhardt Jr. gets in 4th gear, he's able to go.
What's that?
That was interesting.
Looks like he's going again now.
Yeah, I don't.
He wouldn't have waved him by this late in the race.
No.
Unless he had a hard time getting it in the 4th gear. You got to grab 4th gear right in about the middle of those S's. And if you have a hard time getting it there, yeah, he looks like he's having some trouble.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to lose another spot to Ricky Rudd.
That's 28.
That's Ty Norris's spotter.
We'll try and find out what's going on with Dale Jr.'s car from pit road in a moment.
And we see that Jeff Gordon is closing just a little bit on the leader, Jeff Burton.
It's Ricky Craven that interval's back from the leader. Right.
Thank you.
But we should go back and track the interval now from Gordon to Burton, because once the pit stops cycle out, that's the key interval now for deciding who wins.
Well, we're good to go.
Here we go.
Let's listen.
He should grab 4th right about here. Now we're getting down the back stretch, go to the inner loop. Try to drive it as deep as you can, usually to about that 600 marker, which he was right at. Downshifts twice. Back on the gas. Kind of play with the throttle here because the car's real loose through here. Here's the carousel. You want to just squeeze the gas. A little more gas, hard as you can. Grab a gear right here. Sometimes these guys will shift here, or they'll just carry 3rd. Little E's carrying 3rd. Downshift to 2nd. Back on the throttle hard. Keep it in 2nd. Back hard on the gas.
This race is going by at record pace.
That's fast.
The record average speed for this race is 103 and change miles an hour. We're over 104 now with only 2 caution flags. We're back to the Glen in a minute. Oh no! Again!
Yes, again. Dale Jarrett once again, turn 1 in the litter. Let's see if we can see what happened this time. A little contact this time between he and Mark Martin.
They were racing for 13th spot. Jarrett was trying to take that position away from Mark going into that corner.
He wheel hopped it again.
What'd he do? There you go.
Yeah, wheel hopped that thing, and I'll tell you. And he used Mark. And what 4 tires or 8 tires is always better than 4 tires. Slow down.
In this case, it didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
So after getting his lap back from Jeff Burton earlier and working all the way up to 14th spot, Dale Jarrett stuck, and he's going to go back a lap down once more. And Jeff Gordon, if he finishes in the top 5, is going to gain a whole lot of ground on DJ. Ricky Craven was the leader when we went to commercial. He's been on pit road. He had a scheduled pit stop upcoming, but he had a little problem that forced him to visit earlier.
He's going through the carousel. We've talked about that. I think that's the rear sway bar.
I don't think it's big enough to be a sway bar.
And I disagree.
You might be right. It might be the shifter linkage. You're right.
Because, Rick, he came down pit road reporting he was out of high gear, but where it came out from the car, it came out between the wheels.
Right.
Rear sway bar would have come out the back.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with you guys now. Once I saw it again, I realized it wasn't big enough, long enough.
So he's got a linkage problem now, you guys. That's the latest from the 32.
The problem is, Bill, it's laying on the racetrack back there. That's his linkage is laying on the racetrack.
You want me to go get it while they're under caution, Benny?
Yeah.
Bring it up to the booth if you could, so we can really determine.
It won't be hot, will it?
No.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Craven is now a lap down and back in 36th position. And Dale Jarrett has dropped all the way back to 35th.
Let's see if Dale just turns left and heads for the highway.
He can. Next weekend, our coverage from Michigan starts on Friday with Bud Pole qualifying on CNN Sports Illustrated. Saturday, the NASCAR Busch Series is back in action. You'll see it on TNT at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Then next Sunday, After we cover happy hour Saturday afternoon, we get to the Pepsi 400 in Michigan. NASCAR on TNT. The race for the championship continues a week from today at 1:30 Eastern Time.
And the 88 was passing or trying to pass Mark for 13th, so he came a long ways. He was making that charge.
Bad day at the office for Dale Jarrett.
Now he's another lap down.
He's back in 35th. Well, this caution was the last thing that Jeff Burton wanted to see. He had been losing ground on his lead to Jeff Gordon. A lead that was 6 seconds, was down to 1.6 before the yellow, but now Gordon's right on his bumper.
And that's not what you want to see here.
No. And, you know, normally on a caution flag with 21 laps to go, you would see all the cars dive on the pit road and make adjustments. But in this case, you'll see no one dive on the pit road if the car is still running okay, because you lose the track position here. All these restarts are single file. You lose that track position and you're toast.
Well, they don't need fuel. So the only thing, it used to be, you'd usually come in for tires. But these tires don't go off. I mean, actually, after 7 or 8 laps, they get faster.
We've seen that all day long. These cars just get faster and faster. After 20 laps, they're running as fast as they were at the very beginning of the run.
Now the 17 will pull off because he needs some fuel.
Yeah, he's Jeff Burton's teammate. Would he stay in between them? Oh, he needs fuel. Yeah, okay. I was going to say that would be convenient with the single file restart here at the road course to have your teammate in between to let you get away, but...
You see, now he makes a pit stop on the caution flag. Bill?
Yeah, and he had no choice. This is scheduled for them. Just, you know, when the caution came out, they were coming in. So it'll be 4 tires and fuel. Going to put a spring rubber in the left rear to try and help the handling of the car a little bit. This has not been Matt's favorite experience this weekend. So he'll get 4 tires, a little slow on the left, come around, jack it up, yank off those right side tires, and send this Ford back out on the racetrack. Now some other guys heading down pit road. Kent will have to watch this experience. Finally go to Dave.
Michael Waltrip is in, Bill. He's got damage to the left front, and they're going to try to repair that before they send him back out. They've already taken care of the left side tires, and they're going to put right side tires on and send Michael back out of here. Michael's going to have an interesting little week. He's going to throw out the first pitch at an Orioles game later this week. Let's go to Matt.
Tony Stewart on pit road getting service. Stewart had his problems earlier when first he tangled with John Andretti. Then he got spun around off the corner. Marty?
I think it's been a bad day for Matt Kenseth. It's been a worse day for Dale Jarrett, the man who sits second in the point standings. He's finished 41st and 12th in his last 2 races, staring another bad finish here this weekend right down the barrel. DJ currently is in the 36th position. Car not really damaged from being in the gravel trap for the second time. It will be 4 tires, and again, no adjustments. They've had a terrific car all day long. They've just been in the kitty litter twice. And he's back out on the racetrack.
You look at the color scheme of the Watkins Glen racetrack, see the color of the pavement, the grass, and the guardrail, the old rhyme that came to be. I don't know if it was Harry Hyde who first started passing this one around the garage area, but the old rhyme you instruct drivers with is black is good, green is bad, and blue is very bad for the colors of the pavement, the grass, and the guardrail, respectively. I guess we got to add to that with the gravel traps. Brown isn't too good either. Dale Jarrett having a hard day at Watkins Glen. Jeff Burton leads. Green flag at Watkins Glen, 18 laps to go. Jeff Gordon trying to jump Jeff Burton into turn 1 for the race lead.
Oh, could not quite make it. He's bogged down. Is Ricky Rudd going to try to get on the inside of him? And here comes Junior.
Ricky Rudd underneath 24 car.
Rudd to second. Gordon pushing him up through the S's.
Does Jeff Gordon have enough horsepower to outrun that 28 car down the back? Yes, he does.
And Dale Jr. up inside of Rudd for third.
Oh, Junior did not make the corner. He just went straight.
That was an emphatic slam of the door by Rudd.
Ricky Rudd just radioed to his team, guys. He said he thinks he has a right front tire going down. He said he felt it right up in the corner where Jeff Gordon passed him on that back stretch. So he thinks he has a right front going down. They're going to try and leave him out, see if indeed it is going down. He said he felt like it was going down.
If he was going down, I think when he went to turn 10 and made that left-hander, he probably not handled nearly as well in that corner.
Well, those guys went, don't forget, they went side by side through the S's. He was off the line. There's a lot of garbage there, and that you get the sensation that you got a tire going down if you got a little dirt and rubber on your tire. Usually takes about a half a lap to get that tire cleaned off again.
Last week at Indianapolis with 14 laps to go, Sterling Marlin restarted in the lead with Jeff Gordon behind him. Gordon got the jump on the restart and took the lead and was able to hold on. It may have been the turning moment in Jeff Burton's hopes for victory that he held Gordon's restart charge off and got away. Got Gordon occupied with Rudd and the rest of them.
And that's about a 2.5 lead. Up the last lap, Jeff Burton ran over 117 miles per hour, and Jeff Gordon ran just under 115 miles per hour. So we can see that he lost a lot of time as he and Rudd raced together on the backstretch.
Let's go back and take another look at what happened going up the hill into the S's. A moment ago after the restart.
You're not in a good position here. You want to be on the inside to make that move. So you're on the, Lily was on the right side. There's no racetrack left over there.
And that wasn't going up the hill to the S's. That was at the inner loop on the backstretch.
And Rudd showed him there was no racetrack over there. All right, that time, Jeff Gordon shaved 0.2 of a second off Jeff Burton's lead.
Aerial views here at Watkins Glen, courtesy of the United States Army, an Army of one. Has only had one top 5 finish on a road course in his Winston Cup career. That was a 3rd here last year.
It looks like the 24 car. Jeff's getting through that inner loop a little bit better than Jeff Burton. That's where he's making up a lot of time on Jeff Burton right now.
Come from behind wins.
And he can't make mistakes like that. See where he had a little braking problem there? Burton can't do that because Jeff, look how much he closed up on that one little miscue there.
Matt, how about Jeff Burton's car?
Well, remember back to last year, Jeff Burton had a road racer named David Murray hanging around his garage. Murray, a road racing specialist who's raced at Le Mans, Sebring, the Daytona 24 Hours, the American Le Mans Series. He helped Burton get himself better acclimated to road racing. He finished 3rd. Those skills are what's helping him here again today.
He lost 0.6 of a second to Jeff Gordon that last lap. As Wally pointed out, that miscue going in turn 10 cost him dearly.
Well, watch, see here, the 24 catches a little bit right here through the inner loop.
Getting down to the final moments here at Watkins Glen. Gordon chasing Burton. Watching NASCAR on NBC. New leader at Watkins Glen. Jeff Gordon has gotten by Jeff Burton. He's out in front with 12 laps to go. What an exchange it was. Burton did not want to give up. Let's go back and take a look at it.
It all starts, we go down by the start-finish line. Jeff Gordon dives to the inside. Has position on Jeff Burton. Has the lead, right? Wrong. Look at Burton turn that car right and get alongside Jeff Gordon. Now you go up through the S's. Jeff Gordon he had to back off. Now as they go through the S's up the backstretch, Jeff Gordon gets a tremendous run on Jeff Burton. Too many Jeffs in this race. Position going on the inner loop, takes the lead. And this time keeps the lead.
But there's going to be a new car leading the race. It's going to be the pace car. Caution is out. Oil on the racetrack.
Jimmy Spencer, the Kmart car, the 26, I was told has blown an engine, so I guess that he has dropped some oil on the speedway.
Spencer has gone to the garage. Be the 5th car out of the race, joining Robbie Gordon, Ward Burton, Ron Fellows, and Rusty Wallace.
That's important right here for these guys to see what they're doing. They're already keeping their tires clean. You've got to keep your tires clean. You've got real hot tires, and you got a lot of debris on the racetrack. And if you don't keep your tires clean for that restart, it's going to feel like you've got a flat tire or you've hit a patch of oil. So really important.
There it is.
There's a lot of it, too.
Yeah, all the way down this backstretch, we see the stream of oil.
And there are 11 laps to go. So what'll happen is by the time they get that cleaned up and we go back racing, we're going to have less than 10 laps to go. It'll be just the lead lap cars at the head of the line in the single file restart. And there are 33 of those.
Wow. 33 cars.
You want to see him go into turn 1 about 5 wide on that restart? That'll be fun. Let's check with some crew chiefs down on pit road. Here's Matt Yoakum.
And Robbie Loomis won a special race last week at Indy. Another dramatic finish building here. Robbie, can your guy hold him off?
I don't know. I tell you, those guys are real tough, you know, that are behind us there. And it's just real exciting. It's driver for driver right now. Everybody's on about the same equal tires, equal fuel. Should be good to go to the end, so we just have to see.
Gordon looking for his 7th road course victory, which would be a NASCAR Winston Cup record to Dave.
And Frankie just gets done talking to Jeff. How about your driver fighting with the 24 up there? Road course driver, huh?
I told him to make it difficult on him. The 24 has got better tires than we do. We're on a little bit different cycle with tires, and that's got us behind. But Jeff's done a great job all day. That Citgo Super Guide team's done a great job preparing the car. And I just hope we get a top 5 out of this thing. I'm not going to be greedy.
You had him conserving fuel earlier. Can you make it to the end? And don't lie to us.
I don't know why that Benny and them always are concerned with my fuel mileage and nobody else's, but I told them last week that we weren't going to be able to make it this week. I can guarantee them we will make it.
All right, the words
Thank you, Frankie.
Frankie Stoddard. And Benny says thank you, by the way, Frankie. Let's go to Marty Snyder.
And Mike McSwain, the crew chief for Ricky Rudd. First of all, tell us about the panic. You thought you had a flat tire.
Yeah, I guess on the caution, he picked up some marbles and stuff on the tires, and the car didn't take off like he thought it would. He got a really good jump getting down into 1 here, but then tires wouldn't take a hold. And they come around. Everything's okay now.
Your guy sitting in 3rd. Can he pass those 2 guys in front, Mike?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, this is the kind of racetrack Ricky Rudd loves to go to. And this is a perfect situation for us. Get the caution, get us closed back up. Now we're the predator, and those other 2 guys are worried about us.
They're preying on the front 2, Bill.
Okay, Marty, I borrowed somebody else's war wagon here with Tony Eury Sr. Dale Earnhardt Jr., road racer. He's in 4th. Can he get to 1st?
I don't think we can get to 1st. That 24 is pretty dominant on the road courses. But I don't think the 99's too happy with him right now, so anything could happen. But hopefully we can hold our own in 4th there. The Budweiser Chevys run good all day. It's just tight up through the S's. Can't get up that hill very good, so that kills our speed on that long straightaway back there. Everywhere else we're pretty good. Need a little forward bite off the corners there. I think Richie gave us a little bit too much horsepower this week, so hopefully we can hang on to this 4th spot because we got some points to gain here today.
He showed some muscle going through that inner loop up there with Rudd, didn't he?
Yeah, he said Ricky takes off real fast for 2 or 3 laps, and then he slows down. He said, I got up beside him, he run into him. So it didn't help our tight problem by caving the fenders in either. So hopefully we might get by him, I don't know. Hopefully we can. If we can't, we'll take our 4 points and go home.
Okay, we'll sit here and watch with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just keep in mind that Dale Earnhardt Jr. learned to polish his road racing skills at Watkins Glen by playing a video game of this course over and over and over, and he said it helped a lot. That's a reason to go out and get a video game, if you ask me.
Well, he's obviously better at the video game than BP. I didn't say that, did I? We're down to 10 laps to go. Jeff Gordon leads. Jeff Burton trying to get back out in front. We'll come back for the finish in a minute on NBC. 9 laps to go at Watkins Glen. Caution, oil on the racetrack being cleaned up. Jeff Gordon is the leader. Over Jeff Burton, Ricky Rudd, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Bill Elliott. Here's our Pepsi race recap. It's been kind of a topsy-turvy kind of day. Things happening all over the place on the racetrack. Went green a little after 1 Eastern time under a threat of rain. The weather has missed us. Early in the race, Rusty Wallace out. Forgot to connect the water hose when they put the engine in. Cooked the engine. He was the first one out of the race. Dale Jarrett's leading at lap 18. But he spins out into the gravel trap. Loses a lap, getting towed out of the dirt. Lap number 23, John Andretti and Tony Stewart racing for a spot. That was in the top 10, and Andretti's day damaged from that point forward. Stewart's day wasn't done. He got tagged by Boris in turn 1 and turned around. He lost a lot of ground. Lap 37, Ron Fellows chasing Jeff Burton for the lead. The axle breaks on his car. He stops on course, bringing out a caution. Jeff Burton lets Dale Jarrett come by him to get back on the lead lap, coming to the yellow flag. So things are good for DJ, right? Not really. That in a moment. Robbie Gordon has been up front all day long. Just after making his final pit stop, his car catches on fire from the inside. He's down pit road. A chance to win his first Winston Cup event is gone. Now this is Dale Jarrett and his further adventures, trying to get 13th from Mark Martin. Same spot on the racetrack. Same result. Into the gravel trap, loses a lap, getting towed out. Lap 78, after swapping the lead twice in half a circuit, Jeff Gordon finally gets by Jeff Burton to take the top spot. And he held the lead until this most recent caution flag for oil on the racetrack. And that's the way things have gone so far here at Watkins Glen. They had given the field the 1-to-go signal, but they've waved it off. Still trying to get some of the oil dry cleaned up. Oil just dumped all the way around this course, and it's been quite a project to get it squared away. Let's go back and talk about some of these guys in the field a little bit. There's Jeff Gordon, the leader. We showed you the duel that he and Jeff Burton had for the top spot.
And Ricky Rudd, Michael McSwain, his crew chief, said he thinks he might have something for these fellas in that Texaco car. Dale Earnhardt Jr., not known as a road racer. His best road course is a 19th at Sears Point this year.
Those are the top 4. Bill Elliott running in 5th position. What a quiet day it's been for him, but he's in the top 5. Dave?
And Alan, he qualified 21st, has moved all the way up to 5th. And talking to him in qualifying Friday, you wouldn't think that he was having that much fun on the road courses, and yet he has hit his marks. He's done a great job. The car is just a little bit tight right now, according to Mike Ford, the crew chief, and they're just trying to hang on for a top 5 today. Let's go to Bill on Jeremy Mayfield.
And he's in 6th, right behind Bill Elliott, and what a day it has been for Jeremy Mayfield. And when you walk through the garage and you talk to Jeremy, all he says is, if we can just get a good finish, just get a good finish. His best road course finish ever, 15th. They came here at Watkins Glen in 1997. Right now he's 6th, and his crew chief Peter Suspenza just told him, there are a lot of aggressive guys on this track in front of you. Anything could happen. You could still win this race. Dave?
Boris Said is another guy who has made his way toward the front, and he is currently running 7th. The crew right now is just trying to keep him calm. They're not sure he has a car that can do much more, but then again, Boris is an excellent, excellent road racer. But it's really hard to tell because he's been quiet on the radio. There really isn't much that Boris has said.
Boris running in 7th. Todd Bodine is in the 8th position. Matt Yoakum.
Todd Bodine currently matching his best career road course finish, which was 8th back at Sears Point. Todd reporting in his car is losing forward but slowly lap after lap. They're just hoping to hold on for a top 10 finish, trying to bounce back from last year's 42nd. Watkins Glen, a special place. It's his home racetrack, about an hour from his hometown of Chemung, hoping to hold on for a top 10 here today. To Marty.
And Matt, Jerry Nadeau sits in 9th. That's actually sort of a disappointing run for these guys because Jerry's a road course expert. He expects to run well at these places. He's been fighting a tight race car all day long, but sitting in 9th, that sounds pretty good to these guys. They finished 37th, 33rd, 24th, and 38th. In their last 4 races, they have only one top 10 in the last 11. I think they will take a 9th place finish. Thank you.
10th place is Kevin Harvick, continuing his outstanding rookie season. First Winston Cup try here at Watkins Glen. And Harvick is up into the top 10. He finished 3rd in the NASCAR Busch Series race here last month. You've got Bobby Labonte, the NASCAR Winston Cup champion, right behind him in the 11th spot.
And he's had a quiet day as well.
And he's pretty sneaky.
Yeah, he is sneaky.
He usually sneaks his way up quietly.
Steve Park in 13th place, defending winner of the event after the problems that did not allow him to make a qualifying run on Friday. He started 37th. So he's moved up nicely through the field. And we are about half a lap from the restart, which is going to come with 7 laps to go. Bill Weber.
And Alan, you were just talking about Bobby Labonte a moment ago and how he won at Indianapolis last year, then came in here and had a good run, went on to the championship. Well, last week, Jeff Gordon, the win in Indianapolis, in good shape right now. So he's not only thinking about winning races, but is it too early to think about winning the championship?
Yes, I keep telling you, Weber, it's still too early right now. The concentration for this team, for Jeff Gordon, for the 28 car Ricky Rudd, all the rest of them, has to be winning races.
So they're coming to the green. It'll be out with 7 laps to go. Fans getting all psyched up for it. There's Dale Jarrett. What a tough day he's had. 34th place.
Joe Nemechek. There's Boris Said. Boris is in the 7th position. Casey Atwood.
Back in 33rd is Casey, and there's Kevin Harvick. In 10th, Mark Martin in 13th. Steve Park just ahead of him in 12th. 4th place, Dale Earnhardt Jr. As you look ahead at the leader, pace cars off, 7 to go. We're racing again.
Well, Jeff got a great restart on that one.
Burton to block. Rudd Jr., Boris Said, Jeremy Mayfield,
the 77 car.
Oh, look at him locked up at right front, and they're 3 wide behind him.
That was a great move by Boris Said.
All the way to 3rd, and Junior almost in the barrier.
Look at Harvick. He picked up about 5 spots on that restart when they all got jammed up into turn 1. He took advantage.
Oh, what a crash.
Bobby Hamilton and Brian Simo in it in the S's.
Well, now Burton gets another shot at Jeff, and he's going to have to stay on his toes a little bit better on this next restart.
Are up against the wall on the second part of the S.
Caution is out. Full course yellow coming out again. Be the 5th caution of the race.
But never see the 77 car smoking as he goes into turn 10.
Well, he had a little contact down there, so he possibly has got a rub.
Yes.
Got a fender rub right there. But I don't think that's going to be bad enough. You don't come in with 5 laps to go when you're in 3rd.
So they come back to the yellow. And the pace car will pick up the field once again. Ricky Rudd, the big loser on that one, was 3rd on the restart. He's back to 5th now. Let's go back and take another look at the accident, rather.
Well, we got a car slowed down. Sterling Marlin had some problem.
Whoa.
These guys all checked up.
Kurt Busch got under the back end of Brian Simo.
The 17 car really checked up there of Matt Kenseth, and I think these guys just came screaming up the hill and didn't have time to let each other know there was a problem.
So, pace car's going to pick up the field. Figure a lap or 2 of caution to clean this one up, and we're going to have about 4 laps left of green flag racing.
And I think we will see a green flag finish to this race. Even NASCAR has to throw the red flag and stop these cars long enough to clean the mess up in the S's.
It's
these
4 minutes.
Go ahead now.
I was just to say it's 4 minutes and 13 seconds for a caution flag lap around here at 35 miles an hour. So I don't think we're in any danger of running out of laps before we see a restart.
These guys got to watch out for the 77 because he is going to be tough on the restart if he pulls one off like he just did.
Here was the restart a minute ago, and Boris Said.
He anticipated the start perfect. These guys are all cramming in each other, and he just drove her down in there. I mean, he drove her down in there. Look how deep he drove this thing. Got into the 28 just a little bit, and that's where he got the damage.
And that's where he got Ricky Rudd a little bit sideways as Ricky was straightening his car up. Boris Said just drove by for that 3rd spot.
Looked like Benny on that video game earlier.
Exactly. He might have been watching that. That's where he got that pointer. There's the contact.
Aerial view. Watkins Glen, courtesy of the United States Army, an Army of 1.
And watch 25 in the 8 car right here. 25 car got a little bit loose getting in there and kind of used the 8 car as a bumper.
Once again, 8 tires better than 4 for traction.
I love that saying. And an Army, speaking of, cleanup workers out there trying to get all the bits and pieces of the Brian Simo, Kurt Busch, and Bobby Hamilton machines off of the S's. as quickly as possible.
It's hard to tell. I mean, Sterling was really slow up there, but then there was a couple of cars behind him, like the 17 guys, that really checked up.
Sterling Marlin had that same problem last week at Indy on the restart when Jeff Gordon was able to pass him. And I talked to those guys, what they feel like is happening on the caution flag. The fuel pump gets so hot on the caution flag that it heats the fuel up and causes the car to vapor lock. In other words, it heats the fuel up. You get bubbles in the gas line. When one of those bubbles hits the carburetor, the car stumbles, and that's what happened to him last week at Indy.
Let's go show you. This was 14 laps to go in the Brickyard 400. Sterling Marlin was leading Jeff Gordon, and it just didn't go.
It just didn't go. He hits the throttle, but one of those, as I said, the vapor lock, the air bubble goes to the carburetor. It stumbles just a little bit, enough that Jeff Gordon was able to get by.
And go on to his third victory in the Brickyard 400. And as we talked about last week, the driver that has won that race has won the championship the last 3 straight years. Gordon trying to make it 4. Jeff is trying to set another spot in the NASCAR record books for himself today. If he were to win today's race, it will be his 7th victory on a road course, and he will become the all-time leading winner in NASCAR Winston Cup history in road course races, and that's some pretty heavy company he's pulling away from in that category.
I talked about the vapor lock. Let's go inside our virtual garage, and I'll try to show you exactly what I'm talking about. The fuel pump on the caution flag sits so close to the exhaust system. You see the exhaust back here? Here's the fuel pump. The exhaust system is, I don't know, 1,200 degrees. It heats this pump up and all the fuel in the lines, and that's where the air bubbles come from, and therefore the vapor lock.
Because it boils it, right?
It boils it, right.
It's nice to boil your fuel during the yellow.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
And as that people are learning more about that problem, there are some teams trying to do something about it to keep it from recurring.
Yes, they're putting an insulator between the exhaust system and the fuel pump. Some kind of material like they would put on the driver's feet to try to insulate some heat from that pump. It only happens on the caution flag when these cars are not going fast enough for that air to come through the grill and keep that heat going on past the exhaust system back under the car.
Still working on the cleanup up the hill. You can see the trucks are gone. Communication going back and forth between Buster Otten, the pace car driver, and the control tower, just trying to make sure that the track is clear, and it shouldn't be long before we go back racing. Kevin Harvick back in 8th position. Marty?
And he's had a pretty good day, Alan. And I asked him earlier this week about what happened at the end of the road course race at Sears Point. You remember, he kind of got in the way, or he actually gained his positions, as he would tell you. And I asked him if he would do anything differently, and here's what he had to say.
No, I mean, you know, we were running 31st and wound up 13th, and I think right now that put us 12th or 13th in the points, the difference in those points. So we're here to race. We're not here to ride around like a bunch of circus animals. So we just, you know, it's obviously not something that you want to have to do every week, but you got to, sometimes you get in situations where you got to do things that you normally wouldn't do, and when you're trying to get a lap back, you got to race hard.
Wow, Happy getting a little cold there, isn't he?
He did the right thing, and like I said earlier, if Robbie would have just let him go, you know, he wouldn't have had that problem with Kevin when he kind of run into him, and Tony Stewart passed both of them. So I think he did the right thing. Got a 13th out of it.
Oh yes, he went from 31st to 13th. So definitely, Kevin Harvick did the right thing.
Saw those dark clouds overhead from the onboard shot on Harvick's car, but at the top of our show, we talked about rain possibly being a threat, but has not materialized here today. Let's go back and just show you the incident we were discussing between Kevin Harvick, Robbie Gordon, and Tony Stewart. This was the Sears Point race at the end of June. Robbie Gordon is the 7 car. He's the leader. Harvick's trying to get a lap back.
He's so preoccupied with the 29 car, he let the 20 get by both of them. And that was it.
Tony Stewart, the 20 car, goes on, takes a checker flag, and wins. The 7 car finishes second.
Tony Stewart has had his bumps and bangs today. He's been involved in 2 incidents. He's back in 26th position. Robbie Gordon was in the 31, contending for the win. A fire just after a pit stop on his car is going to leave him with a 40th place finish.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see on this restart. I know the 99 is going to be very worried about that 70 7 on that restart. So going to see if we see some blocking. 99, and Jeff Burton, I don't think got a very good restart on that last time. So he's going to have to be on his toes a little bit better in order to have a shot at Jeff going down to the turn 1. Jeff Gordon.
Coming to the green.
The lights are out atop the safety truck. The problem is some of these guys have a first gear to get them out of the pits. They have to restart in second gear, and it's not quite enough. With an overdrive transmission, it really puts them in a bind on the restarts. Here's Boris. Oh, you can't do that, Boris. Back up a little bit. There you go.
Got to wait till you cross that start-finish line. Jeremy Mayfield is on the charge. He's by Boris Said and going after Jeff Burton.
And here's Ricky Rudd on the outside of Boris Said. So last time Boris gets a great restart. This time, not so good.
He got a good restart, but he couldn't pass Burton on the right-hand side, so he had to get out the gas. When he did that, everybody else had momentum and passed him.
4 laps to go.
Boris getting a serious challenge from the 66. He's getting a challenge from the 25. Todd Bodine on the inside.
Fifth place.
And Jeremy Mayfield up to 3rd position.
This many cars on the lead lap, this few laps to go, somebody's going to end up in the gravel trap before this thing's over. Got 31 cars on the lead lap and less than 4 laps to go. Somebody's going to end up in the gravel trap. Yeah, that's true, Bill.
77 is hoping he's got enough rubber on that left front tire for at least 3 more laps, or he may wind up in the gravel trap.
Here comes Todd Bodine. That's 5th place.
Oh, this is tight. Wow. 25 car threaded that needle.
And here comes
Bill Elliott is around.
Oh, no.
And there goes Tony Stewart into the gravel trap.
There you go, Alan. You called it.
And somehow Tony Stewart drives it through the gravel trap. He will not lose a lap, just a lot of positions.
Hey, he's got a lot of dirt track experience, you know.
Last time by, he was running 26th. Next time by, he'll come by in about 31st.
Mayfield and Rudd for 3rd place.
Ricky's applying some pressure here.
Boy, these guys are giving everything, using every inch of the racetrack, doing everything they can for maximum speed out of these cars.
Back into Rudd's car, a little bit torn up from some of that bumping and banging around when Boris Said tapped him earlier when they were racing for a spot. 2 to go. Rudd's peeking, looking back. Here comes Junior up the inside of Boris Said for 8th.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, hang on.
And Junior, is he going to save it? Yes. That was an off-road excursion there, wasn't it?
That's back to about 12th. Oh, there's Joe Nemechek.
And he did not save it.
Stuffed in the barrier. They'll be coming around to the white flag. If the caution flag comes out, it'll be game over for Jeff Gordon. No caution has been ordered yet by NASCAR. Gordon and Jeff Burton well clear of this race for 3rd on back. Nemechek's car is well back off the racing surface.
And they'll wait the yellow in that corner just to let everybody know that somebody does have a problem down there. Not that they're going to slow down any, but yeah.
We will stay under green. And the white flag is up. Final lap here at Watkins Glen.
Now, this will be interesting right here. Last shot going down to turn 1 for these guys. And here comes Todd. Can't get it done.
Hard to block. And now the caution is out. But once the caution comes out, after the white flag is displayed, you race back around to it. So we're still at full speed. Oh, that's Elliott Sadler crab walking through the inner loop.
He's made some serious contact with the wall someplace. Is he going to be in the way of the leaders as they come by and racing back to the start-finish line?
And did he drop any oil? Burton trying to stay with Gordon. Final straightaway. Look at Elliott Sadler's car. Rear end must be broken out of it.
Wow, Burton is really close gap.
Race for third behind the leaders. Rudd trying to get Mayfield. But here comes the road course king, Jeff Gordon. Second win in a row, and he takes his 7th road course victory, winning here at Watkins Glen. Burton second, Mayfield held off Rudd for third. Ricky was 4th, Todd Bodine 5th. 4th win in the last 5 tries here at Watkins Glen for Jeff Gordon. Came into the race with a 160-point lead in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. Gordon wins, Rudd finishes 4th. And Dale Jarrett is going to finish back 31st or 32nd, pending the final scoring. Matt?
High fives and a hug from Rick Hendrick. I thought we were going to have to shake you there, Robbie Loomis, for the past 2 laps. We didn't see him moving up there. How nervous were you?
I'll tell you what, this competition's gotten tougher and tougher. Thanks, Todd. And, you know, Jeff just did a great job. You saw the pass he made there with Burton. I mean, that was 2 men going at it clean as can be. And I can't say enough about Brian White and the guys on this team. I mean, they just work so hard, time after time after time. You know, it's just great to be here in Victory Lane with Hendrick Motorsports.
Can you describe how special it is to be a part of history 2 weeks in a row?
I tell you, we're just trying to win races. You know, that's what we're trying to do. The history, that part's great. But you got a driver like Jeff Gordon, we just got to make sure we do our part. Everyone at Hendrick Motorsports, the DuPont Chevrolet, is doing a great job.
Jeff Gordon, his Rainbow Warriors, back on track on the road courses after a 23rd and a 3rd place finish. The 24 car is headed back to Victory Lane.
5th win of the season for Jeff Gordon. You know, these road courses, he is
really tough. Unbelievable. He is.
Just tough.
And there at the end, I don't know if he was just trying to save everything, but it looked like Jeff Burton, those last few laps might have been a little bit better than Jeff Gordon.
Look at the way the right front fender is caved in on Gordon's car.
What if he's going to try to do a victory donut?
Yeah, he may do a donut, not a burnout.
Yeah, not a burnout, yeah.
Remember in Indianapolis last week after the checkered flag, he tried to do the Kevin Harvick burnout, and he couldn't make it happen. Look at the sweat in the gloves. Hard day's work.
Okay, let's see who's going to try it.
Come on, buddy, come on. There you go, Jeff Gordon. That's the way to do it.
He's loaded.
See, he thought he'd do it over the backstretch where no one could see him.
He's got it down now.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon are on the same radio show Monday night, my radio show, and Kevin told him how to do it. He said, I
told him how to do it last week.
He said, you got all the brakes down. You got it down pat now, Jeff.
Here's what happened last week after he took the checkered flag and tried to do that very same thing on the yard of bricks at Indy.
The difference is he didn't have the brakes.
Just drove away.
But this was a much better effort. He left a lot more rubber on the track this time.
Gordon's 4th win in the last 10 races as he heads into Victory Lane here at Watkins Glen. Jeff Gordon has won today, and Chevy congratulates Jeff and the number 24 Monte Carlo on a big win. And he'll tell you the only thing that comes close to Monte Carlo's reputation on the track is its reputation on the street. Monte Carlo, more champions depend on Chevy. We'll be there.
The hose going in is someplace he can get a sip of water while the race is going on, or whatever beverage he might have in there. Bill Weber?
Well, here in Victory Lane, a big smile, back-to-back wins for Jeff Gordon. Started 13th, his worst starting spot ever here at Watkins Glen. And on the side of his car, a tribute to The Tonight Show and Jay Leno. They spent some time together at Indianapolis a week ago, but right now it's back in Victory Lane at Watkins Glen for Jeff Gordon. He won 6 straight road course races before his streak was snapped. A year ago, it was Steve Park winning here, and then it was Tony Stewart winning earlier this year in Sonoma. But now Jeff Gordon climbs out on familiar ground, Victory Lane at Watkins Glen for the Rainbow Warrior, the road course king. A kiss from his wife, Brooke. Car owner Rick Hendrick is here. Robbie Loomis will step in as well. This win at Indianapolis a week ago really inspired this team. 160 points, the lead coming in here, the biggest this season. Great race, an excellent burnout.
Thank you. Had to redeem myself. Yeah, that was a burnout there.
But that was a burner of a race too, wasn't it?
I thought I was going to lose it right there in the last corner. I don't know what Elliott Sadler was doing. That race car wasn't good enough to come back to the line, but I'm so worn out. Guys did just a great effort all the way around. You know, this team is, when you get these guys some confidence in them, just watch out, you know, and they give me confidence in my driving. And I knew we had a great race car yesterday, but Robbie Gordon, that Lowe's car was going to be pretty tough to beat, but just stuck with our game plan. Robbie Loomis, great strategy in the pits, and all the guys in this DuPont Chevrolet. I want to thank DuPont, GMAC, Quaker State, Pepsi, Fritos, Chevrolet.
Jay Leno.
Yeah, Tonight Show. I hope Jay's got something on there tonight.
Hey, let me ask you something. The restart and the battle with Jeff Burton. Just kind of take me through that for a few laps.
Well, you know, I was rolling up there to take the restart, and he kept hanging way back. And so I kept slowing down. I know it's going to bottle us all up, but I mean, we were going to stop back there if I slowed down anymore. So, you know, my car took off good when I was rolling slow, so I said, if you want to wait back there, I'll go. And I kept getting, you know, great restarts on that. One time when he was in front of us, thought I was going to lose it all right there because I tried to make a run on him. Ricky Rudd got by me, did get by me, and he got loose up in the S's. And we just fought hard, you know. There's a lot of desire out there, and I just thank God for the perseverance and the strength to go out there and do this as a team like we did.
I talked to Robbie Loomis here on Friday, and he said, I congratulated him on the win in Indianapolis, and he said, thanks, but that was last week. Now we have to go get this one. How quickly did you put the Brickyard 400 behind you, Jeff, coming in here?
Friday when we qualified so poor, I said, oh, that's over, you know, and with as many week stretches that we have coming up here, you just have no time to really dwell on the good or the bad of this season. You got to just let it roll off your back going into the next one, refocus, and we'll enjoy this one for a couple of days. Great win, and go on to wherever we go next week, Michigan, I think.
Yeah, and you do pretty good there. I believe you won there in June. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate it.
That's a worn-out Jeff Gordon here in Victory Lane. The road course king is back in the throne. Let's go to Alan.
All right, Bill. All-time leading winner in Winston Cup history in road course competition. Jeff Gordon pulling out of the tie with Rusty Wallace, Bobby Allison, and Bill Elliott. Results, a number of drivers with their best ever road course finishes, including Jeff Burton, Jeremy Mayfield, Todd Bodine, Kevin Harvick, and Boris Said. Dale Jr. faded all the way to 12th.
Mark Martin will finish 15th.
Yep.
Sterling Marlin, we saw him very slow, but he did finish back in the 25th position. And Bill Elliott, after that spin, back in 24th.
Dale Jarrett, 31st. It hurts. 2 trips into the gravel trap today. And Rusty Wallace, the first one out of the race today. More post-race coverage in a minute. Back at Watkins Glen, welcome to the Autotrader.com post-race show. Coverage after today's race, won by Jeff Gordon. Let's hear from some of the other top finishers. Dave Burns.
And Jeff Burns finished 20th on the average in the last 4 races. Jeff, I wasn't going to guess that a road course was going to pick you up, but it did today, didn't it?
Well, we've run real well on the road courses. We don't have a lot of good finishes to show for it, but we've had some good runs. We ran third here last year, led a lot of laps. This year we used good track, real good pit position, and good pit strategy to get us out front. We knew we had a fast car based on yesterday's practice. We thought if we could get in front of some of the guys, we'd be okay. And Frank did a great job of getting us in front of them. And Jeff was just a little bit stronger everywhere around the race course. But nonetheless, we had a great race. I gave him a good shot coming off of the last corner, and it didn't even budge him. So we gave him all we had, just wasn't enough.
Tell us about a few laps earlier when you were racing him up through the S's.
Well, that was just good hard racing. He got in the corner a little bit too hard, so I was able to turn back under him and get beside him. We went up through the S's, and neither one of us had the groove we wanted, so we both went up there slow. And then he drove into the inner loop about 2 car lengths too deep, and I kind of let him go because I said he's not coming out. And he came out. He did a great job and bounced the ball off both curves and did a really nice job of keeping the guy in the car slowed down. He just drove it down, and then he just stopped. And he did a really nice job there, and that won the race for him.
All right, Jeff Burton second today. He finished 8th earlier this year at Sears Point. He's becoming a road course ace. Matt?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished a career best 12th at Watkins Glen. You finished 40th here last year. You walked up, so you had a lot to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, we had a good race. I mean, we did some pit strategy. My guys in the pit got us up in the front, and Jeff Gordon's restart was pure crap. Just running that slow, had everybody bottled up, and guys like 20 car lengths back just running over us and down in the corners like 3 or 4 wide. And a bunch of guys got by us and just couldn't really get to the bottom. Lost a bunch of spots, and then I took over from there and made a bunch of mistakes and knocked us back from 12th. So it's a shame. I mean, it's not a shame, it's a shame. I mean, we come in here not really running good. We didn't qualify good. The car wasn't good in practice. But we got up there and run with them. So I'm pretty happy about that. Happy about coming back here. And it's good for points, finishing 12th. So I would rather finish 4th, 5th, something like that. But
A good confidence builder for you. I mean, I remember at Sears Point, you went off the track a couple of times and you went out there to test and you were trying to build on your road racing program. Do you feel like things are starting to come together?
You never know. I mean, you don't know what you got till you get here. And I think we really improved on the car since last practice, but we found a bunch of problems with the brakes and stuff. But, let that last 15 laps or so frustrate the heck out of you, but it's real easy to do that. But we should be happy with the 12th after the way the car run all weekend. And Rusty and a bunch of guys had some trouble, so we gained on some guys in the points.
Good points, Dave, for Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dave.
And Matt, for Jeremy Mayfield, he broke a bad streak. That was 7 straight finishes out of the top 10. Jeremy, great job today. Tell us about racing those last few laps.
Well, it's pretty wild. I'm just happy to be there. We've had some bad luck lately and haven't been running that good. And for this team, this Mobile One team, to come home here in top 5 on a road course, not only top 5 at 3rd, man, that's pretty cool. And I've been happy to finish top 10 today, or top 10 anyway, just to get a finish. But to come here and bring the Sony Vega Mobile One Ford home in top 3 is pretty awesome.
Did you hit every corner, every shift?
I hit every shift this time. Didn't tear nothing up, didn't break nothing, and man, that's what helped us down there. I had a great motor car. Crew did a great job on the pit stops. And Peter made great calls, and down when we all stacked up down there, I just kept grabbing gears until everybody stopped and took off first and beat them out there. So I'm pretty happy with that.
All right. I guess he missed maybe one corner, guys, and that was all today for him. Great run for Jeremy. Let's go to Marty.
One day, Ricky Rudd finished 4th, and an adventurous day for you, if nothing else. What was happening on those restarts and the one time with what you thought was a flat tire?
Well, I guess the gumballs, marbles were sticking to the tires on the restart. I tried as hard as I could to clean them off, and it wasn't doing any good. I think plus our air pressure might have been a little different than a couple of the other guys, and you'd slow down like that, and we'd have low air pressure, and it'd take a couple laps to get going. But restarts, you get those guys late in the race trying to go for the win, driving into turn 1, and they were just having a hard time getting stopped, and they run over top of everybody, and that really took us out of the equation to try to even factor in for a win. I think we had a 3rd place car. We ended up 4th. That's about all we had today.
Take us through the one time when Boris had pushed you up the racetrack going into 1 when you guys were 4 wide.
Well, he pushed me. Hell, he went over top of it. What are you talking about? I was just trying to do everything I could to keep him wrecking and gather it back up, and off we went. But it's kind of disappointing to have that happen to you real late in the race. You don't have enough time to make it back up.
But he recovers from the disappointing finish in Indy and finishes 4th here at Watkins Glen. To Matt Yoakum.
Last year in post-race, Steve Parks celebrated a victory by standing in your car. You almost have that same smile after a 10th place finish, starting 37, Steve.
Oh, we were terrible. Just a great race team. I mean, we've just been going through so much adversity the whole time that, just to get a top 10 finish we were ecstatic about. And we just did it with pure patience. We did what the late, great Dale Earnhardt taught me to do, and that's stay on course, don't get in the gravel pit, don't wear your brakes out, and don't break your transmission. That's all we could do today.
How big of a confidence booster is it for this team? Because you guys have been up and down over the past 6 or 7 weeks.
Well, really, the last 4 weeks in a row, we've had solid top 10 runs. So, you know, it's been a turnaround for us. We struggled the 5 weeks before that. We got back on track at New Hampshire, and we've been able to follow that through these last couple of weeks. So hopefully that momentum, and we'll get rid of some of this bad luck and get some good luck on our side, and we can take that through the rest of this year.
And it's off to Michigan for Steve Park and Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Let's now go to Marty.
Well, Dale Jarrett, the pole sitter, and a promising weekend turned sour. DJ, tell us about the 2 trips through the gravel traps. What happened?
Driver error. I just got in a little hard. And the first time wasn't necessarily in too hard. I just didn't get my shifts exactly right. The brake pedal had faded a little bit then, and I didn't pump it up, and just got to wheel hopping. Second time, I was trying to outbrake Mark in there, and I thought he knew I was there, but I got it to wheel hopping and got in the side of him. So just my fault. I had a great race car, and obviously didn't know what to do with it, but it was fun driving it.
This is a bad time, honestly, for your team to have bad luck, DJ.
Yeah, you know, you could call it bad luck, but you can't call that bad luck. That's just an error on my part, and that's the kind of things you can't do if you're going to win championships and give yourself a chance at it. So, you know, this was my fault. We chalked this up to me. My guys did everything they could do to give us a car capable of running up front, and just didn't make that happen today.
41st, 12th, and 31st in the last 3 races for DJ. Now 265 points behind in 3rd.
Finished 31st today, did Dale Jarrett, and he has lost over 100 points. He lost 105 points just today. Ricky Rudd was 179 back. He lost some more ground to Jeff Gordon, too, with 14 races to go.
And welcome back to Watkins Glen, where the celebration continues in Victory Lane. Jeff Gordon with a road course win. He won 6 straight road course races earlier in his career, but he's back in Victory Lane today. As for Rusty Wallace, a 43rd place finish today at Watkins Glen. At Loudon a couple of weeks ago, 43rd, then 43rd here. Troubles throughout the season. 43rd at Las Vegas earlier this year and 41st at Michigan. Rusty Wallace with a disappointing run here in a race where he expected to do very well. He's one of the guys heading to Michigan hoping to turn things around, just like Ricky Rudd did when he came here to Watkins Glen after his disappointing finish. But Wallace and his team, as mentioned, 41st at Michigan in June, so some work ahead for them. One of the teams disappointed here at Watkins Glen today, while most of the teams up front continue to celebrate, like the one with Dave Burns.
And that would be Todd Bodine. This is his best finish in 7 Watkins Glen starts. Todd, some guys benefited from stacking up in those cautions in the end. How about you?
Not us. We needed the greens. Our car was really fast all day, the Kmart Blue Light Special. When we get an open track, we were actually faster than the leader most of the day, and I didn't need those cautions. I took a couple laps for my car to get going, and plus it bottled everything up. I needed this open track to work on the guys, but it was a great run. We finally, the performance on the track, we got the finish it deserved, and we haven't been doing that. The car's been great every week. Just something has bit us, and we haven't got the finishes we deserve, but today we did, and the guys did a great job. It was a brand new car, and we finally did it all day long like we got to do. We've got this qualifying down. Now we just got to get the racing down. We finally got it today.
Great 5th place finish for this local boy. We're not far from Chemung, New York, where Todd grew up. Matt?
Kevin Harvick finishes 7th, soldiering home a good points day. But first off, describe your day.
I mean, we had a really fun day in a Goodwrench car. We ran up front all day long and run 3rd or 4th, and then the driver took over and burned the brakes up.
Oh, come on now.
Racing with Ricky Rudd there, but good day for us in the points, and the guys have worked extremely hard this weekend. They had to use those snap-on tools this weekend. We broke a motor right off the bat, so good weekend. Everybody worked hard.
Kevin Harvick always says he doesn't think about the bigger picture, but the bigger picture looks like unofficially he's climbed 2 spots to 7th in the standings. Marty?
Well, Matt Borshead finished 8th today, and you had one really good restart where you took him 4 wide, and then one restart that was probably too good, the last restart. Take us through the last 2 restarts for you.
I mean, the first one was great for everyone at Jasper Engine and Transmissions and Degree. I mean, I drove it on in there. I was trying to get to the win and maybe get a 2nd or 3rd, and I got into Ricky a little bit, but just barely touched him. And, I mean, that's what you got to do with 2 laps to go. And he's probably mad, but I just had to do it. And it was really fun out there, but the last restart to 99 kind of checked up, and I checked up right when they went green, just lost track position and kind of got caught out, so that was just kind of a rookie mistake. And, you know, I couldn't get back into track position. Those guys were just flying right by me, but it was a lot of fun out there. I got to say hello to all my friends at No Fear, Spy, Tommy Bahama, and Degree Antiperspirant.
And a solid day, Alan, for these guys as they finish 8th. Here Borshead does at Watkins Glen.
The top road warrior coming in. No one's a better road warrior in Winston Cup racing than Jeff Gordon. He has won at Watkins Glen. We'll come back with more in a minute. First, off to the Sun America Sports Desk in New York and Hannah Storm. Victory Lane celebration continuing here at Watkins Glen, and now we look forward to next weekend's event. The action moves to TNT, starting Saturday, the NASCAR Busch Series race from Michigan Speedway, and then Sunday, the Pepsi 400 for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Tennis next on NBC, the eStyle.com Classic, Lindsay Davenport and Monica Seles. And as we get set to wrap things up from Watkins Glen today, no rain, nobody could beat Jeff Gordon.
You know, Dale Jarrett, did you hear that interview? Did you hear the pain in his voice? He let the team down, but he was man enough to say, today it was my fault. Next week, with a vengeance at Michigan.
I'll tell you, probably one of the most disappointing guys got to be Robbie Gordon. He had a great car today. He was fast all day. He was keeping his nose clean and had that fire, and tough deal for him.
And so Robbie Gordon basically has to go look for a ride now. Mike Skinner due back in that car next weekend at Michigan to reassume his ride. Jeff Gordon has done it again, his 7th win on a NASCAR Winston Cup Series road course. He did it today at Watkins Glen.